Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Become the Strongest Being in Multiverse Season 2 Part 11. Before we start, please go support John 354 for writing that awesome fanfic. Now let's begin. This is the translated version I made. There will be some wrong he or she calling here because it's translated, so let me clear this. Issei is a male in this story. NPT. One fight of great beings. Moments ago Issei was celebrating with his teammates his victory since after so many years it finally concluded. Izuru. They have been hard days, but thanks to the help of you two everything is over. Issei. They were hard days, but I'm glad that everything is over. Sikaria. We're not going back home. Issei only gave him a half smile, but he instantly put his hand on his chest, which worried his classmates. Sikaria. Issei, what's wrong with you? Issei. Quetzalcoatl is dying. Quickly standing up and opening a portal that surprised those present since they were at a party. Without wasting time he entered the portal. Sikaria followed him in the same way. Upon leaving the portal she was the most surprised to feel a large amount of power not far from them. Issei, for her part, took a big jump where she then took flight towards the place where the great amount of power was. Upon arriving she noticed how Quetzalcoatl was reaching her limit. Issei approached her and gave her part of the power of she. Quetzalcoatl. Issei. He just nodded as she gave him a smile. Issei. You can. Quetzalcoatl nodded and put more force into his kick, causing his enemy to fall to her knees. Vidora. Damn, where I get so much energy from. Noticing that his shields were reaching their limit and without any other option, he left the place. Noticing that, Quetzalcoatl let out a sigh while Issei took her in his arms. Issei. Tell me the situation. Quetzalcoatl. Several days ago every faction and human world have been attacked by all our enemies, along with the Chaos Brigade. But they are not like before, now they are much stronger. Issei. Who takes care of the girls? Quetzalcoatl. Lilith, but we take turns going to see if nothing bad happens, and it also has many barriers. Issei. Because they didn't call me. Quetzalcoatl. Chichigami tried, but something interfered. We also wanted to resolve this before your arrival, but for the time being we failed. Hahaha. He gave her a quality smile and hugged her gently. Issei. Don't worry. It's time for you to rest, now it's my turn to fight. Quetzalcoatl. I still can thanks to the mana you gave me. Issei. I see. Going down to the ground where Sikaria arrived, and upon hearing the news she was surprised and worried for her parents. Issei. It's time to end this, although it won't be that easy. Looking at both girls seriously, both of them also gave the same look. Issei. Sikaria goes to the underworld with one of my clones, and also. Snapping his fingers at her and looking up at her as do both of them. Instantly a large ship appeared. Issei. You know what to do. Sikaria. Don't worry. Approaching Issei and giving him a kiss that surprised him. Seconds later she got on the ship all red, so it happened where she then took the road to the underworld. Issei saw Quetzalcoatl noticing her big smile, but he put it aside. Issei. My clones will go to the factions to help while I will search for the origin of all enemies. Quetzalcoatl. Good luck. Giving her a kiss with Issei created thousands of clones that went in different directions while one stayed with the goddess. Meanwhile in Kyoto the soldiers were guiding the civilians and humans to the castle so that they would be safe, while some gave their lives. Both Yusaka and her friends were always in the front since they didn't want to just watch. Raftalia. Naruko, are you okay? Not long ago you joined the battle. Naruko. I'm fine, I still have strength. Who knew? They have been very long days, but we have to keep going like this. The group nodded but instantly felt a great amount of power coming from evil dragons. Yusaka. We have to hold out while reinforcements arrive. Who knew? But how will they arrive if our allies are also in conflict, as we know? Yusaka. We have to trust and give our all. Taking a leap and entering his nine-tailed kitsune form. The others looked at each other and became serious as well, where they also launched the attack with all their power. Naruko. Kurama, let's use that form. Kurama. Okay, but give me a few minutes and you have to finish them off quickly since you won't be able to stand them. She just nodded while creating a clone to go gather natural energy. Some time later, with everything ready, the clone dissipated, ensuring that everything gathered went with Naruko. After that she went into Bijuu mode, only this time being a four-armed fox. Raftalia. Wow. Naruko. Get behind me, it's time to use my entire arsenal. Creating several Rasengas of different types of elements. Having everything ready she launched them, causing a huge explosion that destroyed everything in its path. The evil dragons created many barriers to protect themselves from the blow, but in the end it was of little use hitting them head on. Yusaka. They're still alive, don't trust them. Noticing how the smoke screen spread and how the dragons came out with multiple wounds, but what surprised them was their regeneration, and in seconds they were like nothing. Who knew? How is it possible? Naruko. It was of no use, and if we continue like this we will soon run out of energy. Raftalia. But we still have to continue. taking an attack position since the group of dragons went against them. But before they arrived, a barrier stopped them, causing the girls to be happy since their loved one was in front of them. Clone. Before you say anything, I'm just a clone, the boss has other things to do. Issei is back. Clone. You guys rest, I'll take care of everything now. Turning around to see his enemies, he let out a sigh, and at the same time his body began to change to a larger one, leaving the girls in shock since in front of them was a large fox with 10 silver and green tails with tips. Red. Seconds later she launched an attack against the dragons. Isaka. We have to help too. Naruko. Since Issei came back I feel more motivated to Tobeo. Going against the enemy just like her companions. On Olympus everything was like the other factions, except that they were having a hard time since they were fighting against the Titans and the Great Army of Hades, as well as the Chaos Brigade. Athena was giving orders without realizing that an enemy was about to attack behind her, but before he could touch her, Hera arrived to save her. Athena. Thank you. Hera. Be more careful, they have managed to sneak in. Athena. If we continue like this, in a few days Olympus will fall. Hera. Kronos and company are stronger than the past. Artemisa. Girls, we have to go to the front, they are already there. They both nodded seriously and headed off only to see how thousands entered the underworld and how few gods were left to stop them. Aphrodite. Then it all ends here. Clone. Of course not. Instantly everyone turned around only to see how the clone passed between them at great speed with spear in hand. Many rushed at him, causing the clone to swing the spear at great speed, killing everyone in hundreds of pieces. Seconds later he stuck the spear into the ground, causing it to instantly begin to tremble, and as cracks opened, the gods were surprised to notice how hands emerged from the cracks. But even more so when you noticed how thousands of people died. Issei. On the attack, the dead just let out a huge roar and went against the enemy. Athena. Aphrodite. Issei. Clone. Sorry but I'm just a clone, the boss is busy. Zeus. Boy, thanks. Clone. Not yet old man, this is just beginning. Having a serious face like the rest. Seconds later they went on the attack in the same way. In a hidden place Ghidorah arrived and instantly gave the news of how someone saved one of his prey. Rizavam. So he finally showed his face. Malvezoa. Who? Rizavam. Someone who has ruined my plans but it all ends here. Malvezoa. I don't care. I'm already bored of this play so I'll finish them off myself. Ghidorah. No one is a match for you sir. Malvezoa. It's been a boring war so I'll kill them all. Getting up from his seat next to his two brothers who gave him a smile. Rizavam, noticing this, smiled and instantly the five left to finish everyone off. Days later Issei stood in front of the five with a serious look while at the same time clenching his fists with great fury and in front of him were Great Red and Office, unconscious. Rizavam. And they called themselves the strongest ha 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 ha. Sarasulps. They were no less a great challenge for my brother. Rizavam. Are you afraid? Seeing Issei with a big smile while he had his eyes lowered. Malvezoa. Wriggleseva finishes him off. The oldest just nodded and started walking, making the ground shake with every step. Issei. How dare you hurt my friend and fiancé. Rizavam. Ha 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 that thing your fiancé. Issei. I will kill you, damn demon. Clenching his fist with great fury. Wriggleseva was in front of Issei with her fist ready to kill him. Wriggleseva. If you have to blame someone, blame your weakness. Extending his fist to end everything but at that moment Issei looked up from him and in the same way extended his fist connecting with his enemy. Causing a crack beneath them from the crash. When the smoke cleared for the first time Malvezoa showed some surprise as Issei was still standing as if nothing had happened. Wriggleseva. It wasn't bad. Using his other arm but this time Issei stopped him with his hand. Wriggleseva. Not bad, I hope you entertain me, not like those two over there. Issei. If you wanted to see me upset, I hope you are happy because you achieved it. Releasing Wriggleseva's arm where he then placed his hand on her abdomen. The others, noticing this, thought he was crazy, but Issei instantly moved his arm, completely destroying Wriggleseva. Nobody could believe it since with just one movement he finished off one of the strongest. There was a great silence for a few seconds, but a laugh broke it, coming from Malvezoa. Sarasulps. Wow, it's not that bad. Malvezoa. You are right. Snapping his fingers instantly causing Wriggleseva to rebuild herself instantly. Malvezoa. You lost with just one attack. Wriggleseva. It wasn't bad, but I want more fun. Sarasulps. Don't leave yourself okay. The older of the two did not say anything and moved at great speed, placing his fist in Issei's face, sending him flying away from where he was previously. Malvezoa. That man is not an ordinary person. Call everyone here, I wish to see him dead. Those behind him nodded and immediately left to deliver the news. Some time later the leaders of each faction were surprised by the retreat of their enemies, causing them to rejoice as they thought they would win. Seraphol. It's finally over. Nezuko. After so long. They both saw the clone but noticed his seriousness. Serafal. Something's wrong. Clone. They are not retiring, they are just going somewhere else. Isabella. What do you mean? Managing to hear what the clone said as well as other girls who were arriving. Clone. Their leaders called them. They go towards the direction of the boss. Those present were scared when they heard that since they knew how strong Issei was, but with so much more with such a level. Risu. But not with you clones. Naruko. No, it can't. Joining the conversation like those who were missing. Became. Because. Naruko. Each clone used many of Issei's abilities. Brunhold. The more skills he used, the more energy they required. Claire. You're right. Clone. Everything they say is true. Right now the other clones are being dissipated to give their energy to the boss. Disappearing in the same way. Beidous. We have to go with him right now. Arena. You guys can't finish them off. Mikishin. We tried but there's one with an annoying ability. Siko. Which one? Mikishin. Even if we hurt him or use all our power, he manages to get rid of everything. Kichigami. Malvezzo is not an enemy like any other. Enemu? Who is he? Kichigami. A god of great power along with his two brothers have ruled many places. Malvezzo's abilities are reincarnation, as well as the ability to exist within himself. He also possesses the ability to find himself in different dimensions, as well as manipulate time. When he is wounded he just rewinds time from his wound to be as if nothing had happened. Lucina. Like the hell we're going to defeat him. Griselda. That doesn't matter right now. Lefay. Griselda is right, we have to go help Issei, we can't leave him such a burden. Esdeath. Well let's go. Isaka. Wait, recently the leaders called me to have an emergency meeting. Amaterasu. This is not the time for that. Roswis. You're right but it's a good thing so we can tell them about Issei's situation. Eride. Sure. If so let's go. Without wasting time, the group teleported to the meeting place, which, to the surprise of some, was where all the leaders of all the mythologies were. But they were just fights, and they blamed each other for the situation that happened. Some tried to calm the situation, but it was all in vain that only annoyed Serafal, since it was not the time for stupidity, so she took a step forward where she took out her sword and stuck it in the ground, destroying part of it. Instantly everyone saw her. Serafal. Since I have your attention I'll say what's happening. And who do you think you are to give orders? Serafal. I don't care what they think, but we have to go help Issei. Rah. What do you mean, the war is over? Bastet. It's not like that, father. The enemy only went to the place where Issei was. If we don't go he won't be able to alone. Who cares? Serafal. We have to go too. Shiva. Don't you realize that we just had a big battle and you want us to go again? Our soldiers are tired. That's the boys' problem, not ours. Mikishin. Issei would help them without hesitation like he did recently. Mocha. He went to each faction to help without saying anything. Gabriel. He won't be able to do it alone. Isaka. Obviously it is not your obligation to accept it, but we hope you are aware of his actions. Turning around to leave again. Many began to whisper because of what they heard, in addition to the fact that the talk was being broadcast to every faction. Many clenched their fists as upon hearing the words of some girls, they remembered how Issei helped them in the past. Isaka instantly received a call from one of his soldiers and agreed to go with his companions. Just like on Olympus many gods were ready to fight as well as in heaven, Grigori and the underworld. Aden. Obviously from the beginning we were going to go. Or. I don't want to see my daughter sad so I'll go too and I have a pending battle with the boy. Surzich. He helped me a lot in the past, I would be a bad friend if he didn't. Tsukiyomi. Thank you seriously. Little by little the other leaders accepted and in less than an hour everyone was on their way to battle. Issei on the other hand watched as thousands of enemies arrived. Rizavam. Your story ends here Igarashi Issei, you must feel happy knowing that you will die in the hands of very powerful beings. Issei. I will not give up and I don't care how strong they are, I will give my all. Pulling the katana out of him only to kill someone from behind who cut off his head. Rizavam just smiled and sent all of his soldiers to attack who instantly launched many attacks and others were against Issei. He alone made a great leap but was instantly surrounded by many, but he alone invoked the true longinus and killed them in a flash. Malvezzo. You say that your soldiers are of high level, but they fall instantly. Rizavam. Don't worry he will fall. Seeing everything with a big smile. While Issei created some clones. Clone 1. Kaiten. Clone 2. Doten. Clone 3. Raiden. Clone 4. Futen. Clone 5. Suiton. Clone 6. Mokuton. Clone 7. Breathing. Clone 8. Shira. Clone 9. Chibaku. Clone 10. 9 skill. At the end, the high-ranking ones only saw great destruction in an instant by Issei and how he killed thousands in a few seconds. Regalziva. He's a good opponent, it's time for me to get serious too. Going to the attack with his subordinates. Sensing the arrival of his enemy, Issei turned around only to receive a blow to the face. Wriggles Eva. Have fun. Watching how Issei evades every attack from his subordinates. Issei just gave a big release, and when he fell to the ground, he caused a tremor that he took advantage of to go after the enemy and kill them with all his strength. One of them went against his, but Issei with his katana broke it in half. Many, upon seeing his eyes, were surprised by his change, since they did not know about Sharingan. Instantly Issei moved faster and killed everyone who was present. Wriggles even noticed that she went against Issei, only to see how Issei threw his katana into the air and how Issei's fist connected with his face, sending him with the brothers of the Issei. True spirit form. Growing to a large size and summoning his hammer to kill everyone with just one hit. Malvezoa. You are not as weak as I thought, but this is just beginning. Stretching out his hand to revive the entire army again. Issei. It will be a long day, but I will also give it my all. Disappearing his spirit form and letting out a sigh. At that he closed his eyes, and many noticed how something silver began to surround him and how his hair became silver. When they opened his eyes they noticed his color changed to silver. Issei. Come on. Moving in an instant, killing everyone in an instant, and being in front of Sarasolds, who upon seeing Issei in front of her was more surprised by that empty look. Before she could say anything Issei made her disappear with a hakai. Malvezoa, noticing this, was surprised because she noticed that on this occasion she couldn't bring his sister back again. Wriggles Eva, noticing how his sister died in an instant, bothered him even more. Malvezoa extended his fist to kill Issei, but he easily evaded it and hit him several times all over his body. Malvezoa. You are not someone common as I thought. I had planned to have fun with you, but I won't forgive you for what you just did. Issei. You started this war and I'm going to end it. Instantly they both launched the attack, clashing fists at a great speed that no one could see. Wriggles Eva, upon noticing this, was also about to join the battle, but she noticed how some golden feathers fell in front of him, and when they just touched the ground, they exploded. Issei only gave a half smile when he knew who they were, since in the distance were his loved ones and her friends. So he left everything to them while he concentrated on his enemy. Malvezoa. What's the fun? Issei. Your downfall. Creating a red sphere in his hand that Malvezoa instantly knew what it was, so he changed places with one of his soldiers. Malvezoa. I will finish them all at once. Rizivum. To do this you must kill that brat first, but as you just saw it is not that easy. Malvezoa. He has talent but he will die in my hands. Rizivum. Don't worry, help is here. Looking at the sky and noticing how a gap was opening. Instantly everyone stopped fighting as they felt great fear run through his body. Murahin. This reminds me. Urza. Acnologia only more powerful. Releasing the sword from him upon feeling such power. Everyone looked at the gap with fear and instantly noticed how a head came out and then another and so on until the whole body came out. Some, upon feeling such power, fell to their knees in fear. Rizivum. I like to see those expressions. Taking a big leap like Malvezoa and facing the beast of the apocalypse. Rizivum. With your skills and my intellect, we will be unique in addition to the improvements of the beast. Touching Trixa's body that little by little they joined him, while Issei only noticed the smile of both of them. Seconds later a sphere surrounded Trixa, and when it cleared, many were scared by her new change, since it was more horrible and stronger. Azazel. This won't be so easy. Looking down from him only to see how his hand was shaking. Trixa. Finally free. Hearing such a dark voice gave everyone a great chill. Trixa looked around to see his amusement park only to then form a smile. Trixa. In the end those two useless people did a good job. Surzich. What do you mean? Trixa. They thought they could take my body, but they don't. Since in the end that demon did serve some purpose, and over time it was giving me new abilities. Where it began to shrink to take on a more human form that surprised many with its appearance. Trixa. I hope you have fun since I want to test my new body. Giving a smile to everyone present. Issei instantly stood in front of him with a Hakai sphere in hand, but opened his eyes in surprise when he noticed how Trixa stopped him with his hand. Trixa. It's an interesting skill, I like it. Taking the sphere from Issei and eating it, and before anyone mentioned anything she created one in his hand that he threw at some, making them disappear instantly. Trixa. Seeing the memories of that dirty demon I can realize that everything I have is thanks to you. So you will have the honor of dying last so that you can see your loved ones for the last time. Issei. You won't touch anyone as long as I'm alive. Trixa. We'll see about that. Creating thousands of clones of himself where most took the dragon version and others had the human appearance. Trixa snapped her fingers at him where many holograms were created everywhere. Trixa. Here you will see your savior's full where later I will make you suffer. Letting out laughter causing fear in many more humans. After that Trixa snapped her fingers giving the signal for everyone to attack Issei's allies. For his part, he was about to create clones, but they stopped him. Kian Renksu. Issei, you focus on him and we focus on them. We trust you. He just nodded and put on a serious look like his rival. Progress. Days later and everything was devastation for the alliance that was becoming less and less due to the losses. Issei was giving his all to stop the enemy, but it was impossible since he felt like he was fighting with himself. Issei carelessly hit him in the face, sending him flying and falling in front of the girls. When he looked up he only saw an outstretched hand. It's time for us to pay our debt. NPT. 2 reinforcements and sleep. Previously in the most powerful being. He could see the arrival of the clones in every faction to help, causing the joy of many. The girls upon learning of Issei's return were happy. After a long battle everyone retreated not knowing that the great army was heading to a place to kill a person. When the girls found out about this, they went to seek help from the leaders where some refused to help and with the little help they had they went to battle again. Everything was going well until they felt a very great and terrifying power coming from the beast of the apocalypse and it increased further when Malvezzo and Rizavim joined him. Issei gave them a smile and created many clones that he launched into the attack. Renksu. We are going to take care of them, you concentrate on Issei, we trust you. Issei just nodded and looked at his enemy seriously. Present. Both Issei and Issei were just looking at each other waiting for the first move and seconds later Issei launched an attack, wanting to hit Issei in the face, but he evaded it without much difficulty. Issei. Not bad. Turning around causing Issei to be surprised as he noticed the Sharingan in Issei's eyes. Issei. Use your entire arsenal because I want more power. Issei didn't say anything else and attacked with bare fists, while Issei used the skills he already possessed. On the battlefield everything was different since the weakest soldiers were the first to die, since the clones of the beast of the apocalypse were already so much that even for a god it was complicated. Surzich. Don't give up. A single mistake can lead to their death. Azazel. It's easy to say but that thing eats my attacks. Warahan. It's an ability of a dragon called Acnologia, be careful. He said it in the demon version of him as he analyzed the situation they were in. Nezuko. Also, his regeneration is not normal. Raftalia. We can hurt them thanks to the mineral that Issei gave us in the past. Serafal. Just be careful. Looking up and noticing how Issei and Issei were bumping fists at great speed. Serafal thought. Be careful Issei. Going with her friends to help. The days passed and the war continued while the humans and some factions that were not there watched the battle since Issei was in charge of broadcasting it. Many were scared to notice that the alliance dropped considerably, some due to how weak they were or tiredness. In addition to that Office and Great Red joined the battle also using all their power to defeat the enemies. Zeus. Damn it, no matter how much we kill them, they continue to outnumber us. Odin. He has the power of infinity, and his dreams must be enormous, even more so when he has the power of Issei. The leaders were gathered planning some strategy while the others continued fighting. Izanagi. Plus the other factions don't want to help. Maybe they don't think what will happen if we lose. Isaka. Leave them. Right now we have to find a solution to put an end to them, plus Issei is the one who had it the most difficult since she has not rested at any time. Yukin. Damn. We are still weak. Hitting the table in frustration. Surzich. It's not that. Our enemy far surpasses us. Michael. We can only move forward as we are. Rah. Then it's time to go back and let another group take their break. The rest nodded and returned to the battlefield. When they arrived they were surprised to see Issei with many injuries. Isaka. What happened here? Gabriel. I don't know suddenly he was like this. She said it was all worrying to see her loved one like that. Issei. No matter how much you fight, in the end you are nothing in front of me. Regenerating her arm and healing her wounds, leaving her as if nothing had happened. Issei. I will never give up because I have people to defend. Looking up and letting out a sigh and healing her wounds in the same way. Issei. You can copy every skill, but not the experience I gained in all my years. Issei. Ha 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 ha, come with everything you have so that you can have more fun for me. Issei only took off the already destroyed part of his shirt and in seconds many seals that surrounded her body appeared, surprising everyone since that was new. Issei. Release of suppression and weight seals. Instantly all the seals disappeared and as they did so many noticed the increase in power. Issei was a little surprised but glad since she could have more fun. After that Issei raised her hand and looked at it for a moment, then with her thumb he pressed her heart. Hinata. Issei, don't use that ability. She said it scared since with her Byakugan, she was seeing everything clearly. Pagaya. This is bad. Everyone noticed how a silver aura surrounded Issei that gave off a lot of power. Mikishin. Issei stop. He didn't pay attention to his words where then he screamed at the top of his lungs releasing more power. Issei. Kaioken, X1000. Causing a red aura to envelop him where his muscles hooked. By that time no one knew what to say except the girls who were scared to know the consequences of using such skills, especially if they were combined. Issei let out a sigh where all the aura was dispersing. At that moment Issei looked seriously at Issei. The beast of the apocalypse was about to say something, but before speaking Issei was in front of him. Issei was surprised since he didn't even notice when he moved from his place. Unfortunately for him, Issei hit him in the stomach and sent him to heaven. Issei at that moment jumped to continue the battle. Issei. I will never forgive you for hurting my loved ones. Hitting him in the face. Issei. That's how I like to have fun. Having a big smile. Issei. Kill everyone. He said, the beast, making the clones nod and go with all his power, laying waste to everyone. Many could not defend as the power they had increased drastically. Issei, noticing this, was about to go help, but it was impossible. Issei. You just have to listen to their screams, ha 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 ha. Upon hearing such words, Issei became even more upset, going on the attack, while Issei launched many of his skills that hit Issei squarely, but had no effect on him because of how upset he felt. Many could only watch or defend from everyone. Hearing the cries for help or suffering, Chichigami didn't know what to think anymore when she saw her loved one struggling. At that she closed her eyes and mentally sent a message to the girls. Chichigami. Girls, please come, I have to tell you something. Without waiting for a response, the call was short and some time later everyone was there. Urisu. What's wrong? Misako. It's a bad time as you see. Chichigami. I know, but if we continue like this we won't see tomorrow. There is less and less help. Alicia. We know it, but we give it our all, but they still come back like a plague. Kichigami. I know we don't have the right to do this, but I have a favor. Lefei. What's wrong? Kichigami. I will open the portals that go to the dimension where Issei went previously and ask for help. Maybe. Kanrenksu. I'll go get them. I know they will help. Enterprise. His friends, or rather his brother. Kichigami just nodded and created several portals. Kichigami. Some of you go while we resist. The group that was going to leave nodded and entered the portals in search of help. The first to leave were Belfast and Prince, who without wasting time began to run. Many were surprised when they saw it since they had not heard from them for a long time. Belfast arrived where Princess of Wales was. When she saw them she was more surprised by her injuries. Wales. What happened to them and where they were? Belfast. We need help. She was about to ask, but more people came in and were surprised to see them. Hornet. Wow, how long has it been and where is my sister? Belfast. We are at war. Wales. Where? I haven't heard of that. Akagi. I say the same. Prince. A big enemy has appeared and we need all the help we can get. Belfast. Please. Bowing like Prince, causing everyone to open their eyes since that was unusual for her. Hornet. What's up? Seeing them like this and them acting like this is not normal. At that, Belfast told the situation as quickly and briefly as possible, which surprised everyone. At first, they didn't believe it, but when she showed some evidence, they believed everything. Wales. I don't know what to say knowing all this. Hornet. I'll go. Cleveland. It's time for me to help my friend too. Akagi. I'll gather some troops. Wales. I'll break the news. Belfast. Thank you. Wales. Issei helped us in the past, it's time to return the favor. So break the news, girls, and get everyone ready. The group nodded and left the room to deliver the news. In another dimension, Claire was coming out of the portal that luckily for her she came out on the battlefield while everyone was looking at her. Hey Otto. Claire. Upon hearing that voice, she turned around only to see her friend in her battle suit since she was in a tournament. Claire. Hey Otto. I need your help. Hey Otto. What's wrong? Claire. Issei is in trouble. The black-haired man upon hearing that became more serious and nodded where Amelia instantly appeared in front of him as did two girls. Erica. We are going to help her, Claire-sama. Claire. Girls, thank you very much. Amelia. What's happening? Claire. We're at war. Giving a slight explanation, also no one could hear them since she created a barrier. Amelia. Wow, that's new, but we'll still go. Hey Otto. You're right, it's time to help a friend, rather a brother. Claire gave them a smile and spoke to her friend. In another dimension, Brunhild came out of the portal that, to her joy, was in front of her sisters. Oh. And this visit is strange from you. Brunhild. We are at war. Locke. What in that? Brunhild. I need her help, Issei can't do it alone, and our allies are diminishing. Hurst. Okay. Brunhild. That easy. Oh. We are sisters, obviously we are going to help you, and we also owe a lot to Issei. Sasaki, she is right. Brunhild turned around only to see a group of humans. Oh. While you were talking I called them. Brunhild. They really want to go. Simon. Sure, it's time to have some action. It's time to take away what he did previously, ha 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 ha. Brunhild. Thank you. And it's time to kick ass. Raising her fist like the rest where she then called her friend. In another reality, Kanrenksu left the portal and without wasting time activated her wings and went in search of Issei's brothers. Some time later he found him on the island of the sea god where he could easily enter since he helped in the final war. Upon arrival she was greeted by Tang San and Xiao Wu. Hang-san. Long time no see. Gan Renksu. We need your help. Issei is in danger. Xiaowu. What happened to brother Issei? She said it scared since she loved him much more for everything she did for them. Hang-san. We will. Give me a few minutes to call the rest. Yes. Gan Renksu just nodded and with that Tang-san left the place as quickly as possible. Some time later she returned to her friends where they were serious since Tang-san had told them why she had gone. You bye. What's wrong? Gan Renksu. Many enemies appeared but their leader is someone to fear. Issei is confronting him and at the same time he is helping us. If we continue like this he won't be able to stand it. Oscar. There is no time to waste. Someone was about to say something, but at that moment lightning struck in front of them, which to everyone's surprise was Issei's clone. Hang-san. Wait. Clone. Before you continue I will speak. I'm a clone and I stayed to train, and luckily for me I'm done, it's time to give everything to the boss. Wrong. We don't have to waste time, we have to help brother Issei. Gan Renksu just nodded with a smile and called her friend. In another dimension Najire came out of the portal that to her joy was in the academy where she quickly went to her old classroom. When she did so, everyone was surprised since she suddenly disappeared and she was all hurt. Mirio. Hey, what happened to you? Najire. Guys, I need your help, please. Making a bow from her that surprised her former classmate since that was unusual for her since they always looked at her happy. The Maki saw her friend where Mirio smiled and nodded, they both stood up and left the room with her. After walking a bit they ran into Toshinori. Najire. All Might. Toshinori. Wow, it's been a while seeing you and where Issei is. Najire. Our world is in danger and Issei needs help. At that moment Toshinori dropped his books and entered his muscular form. Toshinori. Thanks to Issei who healed my body before leaving I can help. Let's get the rest and leave. Najire just nodded gratefully and so the group ran off in search of more help. Enterprise left the portal and without wasting time began to run into the sea in search of her friend who after a few hours found her ship where she instantly boarded. Seeing her, Luffy jumped with a smile and little by little the others approached. Robin. Long time without hearing from you and what's wrong, you look very bad. Chopper. I can heal you. Sanji. Enterprise-chan. Enterprise. Issei needs help, there is a very strong enemy. Instantly there was a great silence where many became serious even Sanji since they liked him. Luffy. What's wrong? Enterprise. Many are dying and Issei can't carry it all. I know I don't have the right to ask for help but. Luffy. But what are you saying? You are my nakamas obviously we are going to help you. Nami. It's true you never leave a nakama. Luffy. Usopp calls everyone. Usopp. Okay. Luffy. Frankie, let's go full steam ahead, we have to look for more people. Frankie. Super. Enterprise. Thanks guys. Chopper. Well we get there I'm going to heal you. Zoro. And you tell us about the enemy to come up with something. Yamato. Ha this will be fun. In another dimension, Fords left the portal and without wasting a second, looked for Issei's best friends who, to his delight, were with his brother. He quickly went to the place and some time later he was in front of them, surprising them by his arrival. Whis. Big sister that brings you here. Beidous. Goku. He approached her and gave her one of her big smiles. Goku. I haven't seen you since that time and how is Issei doing? Beidous. Issei is in a big battle and she needs you. Goku's expression instantly changed to a serious one. Beidous. What will you do? Goku. It's not obvious, I'll go. It's time to return the favor. He helped me in the past and now it's my turn. Beidous. Thank you. Goku. Besides, I won't go alone. Pointed back in the direction of a group where Vegeta, Gohan, Broly and Jiren were. Beidous. Thank you very much. And you Birasama helped us. Bills. No. Goku. Come on, he helped us in the past. Bills. And that. Also because of him we have to work harder. And I don't think another god of destruction will help you since they hate him for such humiliation. Beidous. It doesn't matter. Let's go. Goku and company nodded and with that they went to another place. In a kingdom, Seraphil entered the castle without paying attention to anything, walking towards the throne that, to his joy, was a blonde-haired man. Meliodas. Sate, what a way to enter. Elizabeth. It's been a while. Seraphil. I know. Having a slightly sad smile. Elizabeth. You look bad, maybe someone did something to you on the way. Going towards her to heal her wounds. Seraphil. I need her help. I don't want Issei to bear everything alone. Meliodas. We will. Seraphil. That easy. Meliodas. I would do anything for him since he took away the curses and helped us end a war that had been going on for many years. Seraphil. Thank you. Meliodas. I'll call the rest, I know they will help too since Issei is considered part of the group. He was about to leave, but then his brother entered, causing Meliodas to be happy and Zeldris to be distrustful. Meliodas. You came at a good time. Zeldris. Why? Meliodas. We will go fight and you will help me since Issei needs help. Zeldris. And because I would have to help him. Jelga. He helped a lot in the past and it's time to repay the favor, so let's help. Zeldris. But. Jelga. No buts. Having a serious look while Meliodas laughed at what was happening. Minutes later he went in search of his friends where it didn't take him long to return. And. It's been a while since we met. King. Sure. Meliodas. Okay guys, it's time to help a friend. And. Thanks to him Elaine is alive so obviously she would go. Elizabeth. We're leaving. Seraphol. Thank you all. She wiped away a tear knowing that Issei had great friends, after that she called her friend. In another dimension Leviana left the portal and thanks to Chichigami's instructions, she headed to a district and after several minutes of flight, she arrived at her destination. She knocked on the door only to be opened by a blonde-haired man with robotic arms. Genos. Who are you? Leviana. Satama is here, I must tell you something important. Genos. Sensei is busy. Leviana felt Satama's presence inside and without wasting any more time she froze Genos except for his head and so she entered the house. Once she was inside she was about to speak but Genos was pointing his hand at her. Genos. Something else to say. Leviana. Satama, Issei needs your help. Upon hearing that name he put down his video game and stood up. Satama. Genos leave her. Genos. Whatever sensei says. Satama. Come on, we don't have to waste time. Leviana. You won't ask. Satama. He is my friend and thanks to him everything changed. Noticing how another person entered the room. Satama. In time it's time to help our friend. Yubuki. I understand. Giving a slight smile as she remembered how he helped her in the past. Genos. I'll go with you sensei. Satama. Good. Having a serious expression since she knew how strong Issei was and if he needed his help, it was because his enemy was someone to fear. Leviana said no more where she then called her partner. Both Akame and Sheil ran through the forest until they found their old base, and to their joy their companions were still there. When they saw her, they were so surprised by her injuries and how they disappeared. Kuram, seeing her sister, went to her and gave her a hug. Nagenda. Go where you were. Hitsumi. It was almost 2 years that passed. Akame. We left with Issei. Mia. Wow, I believed it about Sheil and Esdeath, but not about you. Lubbock. Speaking of which, where is she perhaps? Sheil. She and Issei are fighting. Nagenda. That's why the wounds. Akame. The enemy is very strong. We need his help. Hewlett. Sure. Akame. Surely the enemy is not like anyone you have faced in the past. Leon. He helped us in the past without saying anything, it's time to do the same. Nagenda. Well everyone get ready as we will go to battle. Instantly everyone screamed and went to get their weapons to go into battle. Both Sheil and Akame were happy knowing that they had great friends to rely on. In another place a party was taking place while everyone was celebrating happily, but at that moment a portal appeared. Everyone stood up and took out their katanas to be ready. But they were surprised to see a girl coming out who was looking sideways. Nezuko. Oni-chan. Going towards him, giving him a hug since she had not seen him for a while. Tanjiro was surprised but reciprocated the hug. Tanjiro. How are you? Nezuko. Fine but I'm in a hurry. Tanjiro. Tell me. Nezuko. Issei needs help. Instantly there was a great silence since those present knew him. Rengoku. Ha what is he up to? Nezuko. Our home is in danger, many have died because of the war. Again there was a great silence as that was not a good thing. Shinobu. Where is that? Nezuko began to explain as much as she could while showing a hologram of the battle that left many shocked by such enemies. Nezuko. It's not an obligation for you to go, I understand. Inakus. I'm ready. I will beat them all ha. Zenitsu. I think it's better. He didn't finish as Inosuke hit him in the head, causing the blonde to faint. Seconds later he stood up with his eyes closed and more serious. Inosuke. He'll go too. Tanjiro. I'll go. Nezuko smiled and looked around only to notice how everyone was up and ready for action. Nezuko. Thank you all. Turning around to call out to Chichigami and give it his all. Leffei left the portal that to his joy was in his old base, some on the other hand were scared to see a portal appear out of nowhere. And others took an attack position, but when they saw Leffei they were happy. Noelle. Master, long time no see. Giving him her smile. Leffei. Wow, you changed a little, what happened during this time? Yami. You do many good things here. Letting out a puff of smoke as she had a feeling it would be something bad. Leffei. It's Issei. Asta. What happened to him? Charmy. What's wrong with sensei? Leffei. A great enemy appeared and he cannot handle all the load. Asta. I'm turned on. I'll go help. Noelle. Me too. Leffei. Thanks guys. Yami. It's a lot of work, but he's still part of the Black Bulls, and we help each other. Lefei. Captain Yami. Yami. Plus we have to overcome our limits ha 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 ha. Basta. It's time to show my progress to Issei, and when she sees me she will be shocked ha 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 ha. Lefei just smiled as everyone gathered around her ready for action. Seconds later Magma gave her a cloak that she put on and seconds later she called Chichigami. Both Urza and Marahin opened the guild doors suddenly, surprising everyone. Makarov. Daughters. He said it happily since he had not seen them for a while. Ray. Hey, where is she calling? I thought she would be with you. Wendy. And Lucy. Happy. I haven't seen them in a while. Many began to ask about them since they had not seen them for a while. But they quickly fell silent when they saw Urza and Marahin on their knees. Makarov. What do they do? Marahin. We need your help, the enemy is very strong. Urza. I know we don't have the right but. Ray. But what do they say? Makarov. Daughters, perhaps you forget who we are. Instantly everyone stood up. Everyone. We are Fairy Tail. Yuvia. We are a family. Both Urza and Marahin stood up with a smile. Makarov. Tell me. Urza. The enemy is much stronger than all the dragons that were in the 100-year mission. Marahin. Plus there are many of them and there are more and more deaths like right now. Urza. Natsu is giving his all to protect her loved ones. Makarov turned around with a serious look looking at everyone. Makarov. We will go to a very tough battle and it is not an obligation to go. I will go because my children need me, I can still do something. Ray. But what do you say, teacher, obviously we will go. It's time for me to show Flames that I'm not the same as before. Everyone nodded as they wanted to help. Makarov. We are ready. Urza gave them a smile and was happy to belong to such a family since he could count on them. Marahin called Chichigami and little by little everyone entered. In another dimension Sikaria flew with her Gundam until she found her companion's ship. Recognizing her, they quickly let her in. Once there, everyone waited for her to get out of her armor and to her surprise, she was injured. Tamaki. What happened to you? Sikaria. We need help. Izuru. What happened since a few days ago they were with us and they disappeared? Sikaria. They are attacking my home. K. Let's help. Sikaria. Seriously. Izuru. Of course you helped us before, it's time to return the favor and thanks to Issei I wrote a good manga. Ateru. It's time for action. Sikaria. The enemy is not a normal person and that is why when they get into their Gundam, putting on this bracelet will help you improve. Giving each one a bracelet that was previously created by Issei, but since they left he forgot to give it to them. Izuru. Team Rabbit are ready. Everyone nodded and went to prepare to go on the mission. Everyone ready and in their Gundam Sikaria called Chichigami, where a portal was instantly created that surprised the group, but they still followed her. In the battle Issei gave Trixa no chance, destroying every part of her body. Trixa, knowing that she couldn't do anything, became upset since she couldn't even copy such techniques that she used. Seconds later he saw one of Izdy's girls and went against her. Issei, noticing this, flew as fast as she could and when Trixa was about to kill her, Issei pushed her away from her, receiving the attack squarely in her abdomen. Before flying away, Issei used a Rinnegan technique, the Tensei Shinra, which sent him flying just as far. As Issei flew from his blow he returned to her normal state while her bones and organs regenerated at a monster speed. When he fell to the ground and looked up, he saw a hand that, to his surprise, belonged to one of his friends. Thanks-san. It's time to pay our debt brother Issei. He was more surprised to see how many people came out of different portals. Issei. Like. Meliodas. You helped us with our problems and it's time to help you too. Basta. I'll show you everything I learned. Goku. I'm ready for war. Makarov. Fairy Tail is ready. Yami. It's time for you to overcome your limits, brat. Izuru. Team Rabbit is present and ready to listen to orders. Wales. We are under your command, Admiral. Tanjiro. Tell us what to do. Agenda. We will do everything we can to help you. Saitama. You say what I should do. Luffy. You are my Nakama. Ace. You saved me in the past, it's time to help you too. Ashinori. You are the #1 hero. Midoriya. We follow your orders since thanks to you I improved a lot. Thanks-san. You are one of the members of our generation and you are also a member of my sect, obviously I was going to help you. Goal. You helped us against those gods, it's time to return the favor. Hinshai Huang. This battle will be interesting. Adam. Yes. Hayato. You're my brother and obviously I was going to help you without hesitation, so you tell me what to do. Issei had his head down when he heard all that and when he raised it, he let out some tears that he wiped away. Issei. Guys, thank you very much, seriously. They just nodded at her while Issei then saw her clone and nodded at her. Issei. Guys, do what you do best. Goku. Ha okay. Issei. Go all out Saitama. Saitama. I will. Issei created a clone to the right of him, while the other was to the left of him. Issei. True spirit form. Clone 1. True spirit form. Clone 2. Susanoo. Instantly 3 great beings of pure energy were in front of the group, which surprised some. Issei, noticing this, formed a big smile and returned to her dragon form. Issei. Have fun Igarashi Issei. Issei extended both fists sideways and the clones collided with him. Issei. Fusion. Instantly the 3 merged to create a great golden being that surprised everyone. Since he looked like an angel plus he had 2 swords. The others also stood guard where Tang-san and Qian Renksu activated their spirit form and Hongjin and Oscar their phoenix form. Rong was in charge of using his ability to improve everyone since during that time he improved a lot. Ray. Don't delay me little flames. Natsu. That's what I say, ice cold. While they both had a smile on their face. Asta and Noel activated their armor, a black form and a Valkyrie. Brunhild's sisters joined humans to become stronger. Issei. Attack Yi. Look for the song for more experience. The group launched the attack just like Issei along with its large army. The factions, on the other hand, were shocked when they saw such characters, but they did not take it into account and in the same way, with greater spirit, they launched the attack. Issei exchanged his sword with the hammer where he along with Tang-san on each side, hit the apocalypse beast. Issei thought they wouldn't be a big deal, but when he received the blow he felt great pain. Tang-san. Killer God Domain. While his eyes shone an intense red color, freezing several of the Issei clones where the rest of the members destroyed them. Many joined groups to kill them easier. Since the demon slayers are in charge of weakening them with their skills and the rest deal the fatal blow. Luffy. Gomu Fire. Launching several attacks where he then changed his appearance giving all enemies a challenging smile. Everyone was giving their all to stop the enemy. Issei at first just observed and tried to copy some skills, but it was impossible. Issei. Your Sharingan has a limit since you don't know anything about it. Also you will never take him to the second form of him. Issei, upon hearing such words, became upset and went on the attack and at the same time created more clones and returned to life those who were no longer there. Meliodas. Nobody said it would be an easy battle. Zoro. He understood you. Sasaki. Cover my sword boy. Zoro. And you mine old man. While both went to the attack with 2 katanas in hand. Enterprise joined her former companions and with the help of a clone of Issei, improved all of her weapons to do more damage. Akagi. Don't stop, this enemy won't give up that easily. Isaka. Attack with everything you have, no one gives up. They both saw each other and also went on the attack to help their companions. The Kame was fighting alongside her sister who quickly understood each other. The Kame. You haven't lost your touch. Kurum. I say the same. The battle continued for days and then weeks where little by little everyone was getting tired and every so often they took a break. Tashinori. United stated smash. Delivering a blow with all his strength to his rival who was slowly regenerating. Tomioka approached and cut off his head that little by little they joined together again. Tashinori. They're not that easy. Tomioka. That's right. End of the song in case they had it haha. Issei looked at the situation from afar and at the same time looked around him and noticed how his friends and brothers were tired from fighting so much. Issei could only clench his fist because of everything that was happening and even more so when he saw several of his dead acquaintances, he couldn't help but shed some tears. Man. Don't be like that, they died in peace. Gohan. Don't worry, yeah. Issei. If we continue like this everyone would die. Gohan calls Goku. He didn't understand why, but he still left while Issei looked for Asta and he easily found him. He quickly went to him and put his hand on his shoulder. Asta. What's wrong? He said it a little tired, but he still gave it his all. Issei. Tell me Asta how things are going with Noel. Asta. What's that about? Issei. We haven't had a chance to talk. Asta. She is my girlfriend and I will give my all to protect her. Issei. Follow me, I have an idea. Starting to fly just like Asta. Seconds later the 4 were gathered while Saitama and others fought the Issei. Issei. Let's use those skills. Goku. You think it will work out? Issei. No, but it will give me time to use something that I have been thinking about for a long time. They can. Goku. Sure. Gohan. I will give my all. Asta. Of course we go. Issei gave them a slight smile and then created a clone that he sent towards his friends, giving them an introduction. Both Saitama and the rest used all their strength to send him into the air and already there. Issei. Now, instantly the 3 took position. Goku. Ka. Gohan. I. Asta. Hami. Issei. Hi. Instantly the 4 used all their strength in that attack, while Issei managed to compose herself and activated several circles. Issei. Now Asta. He just nodded and protected the attack with the anti-magic that was destroying each shield. Issei, noticing that with all his mouths, launched several attacks to stop the attack. Goku. Kaioken x 30. Gohan. Kaioken x 10. Asta. Kaioken x 20. Issei. Kaioken x 200. Instantly everyone screamed at the top of their lungs, while Trixie equally gave her all. Seconds later the attack hit him squarely, destroying his entire body. Many noticed how little by little he was regenerating. Asta. What's the plan, Issei? He climbed higher and looked at the sky. Look for the song for more experience, it's called Decision Naruto. Seconds later, under the gaze, all three of them disengaged against their will. Issei. First I will finish off all those clones. Joining both hands. Enemu. Issei, what do you have planned? Issei. I will use a fairy tale skill that I learned a long time ago. Makarov at first had a bad feeling, but upon hearing those words he knew what he would do. Urza. Issei, don't do it, that's dangerous, especially with these enemies. Urahin. You are the only one who has fought tirelessly and if you use it, I don't know what will happen. Issei. Don't worry, I'll do it for you. At that Issei began to glow an intense golden color while he heard many complaints. Issei. Fairy law. Enveloping the entire battlefield, turning every enemy into rock where seconds later they shattered into pieces. Everyone saw Issei's tired state, but he continued up with all his will. Issei. There's only one left. Watching from a distance how he regenerated faster. Issei thought. There isn't much time. Looking down and giving them a smile. Issei. Outer Path Samsara Heavenly Life Jutsu. Behind Issei a creature appeared and opened its mouth, and many souls came out and little by little the fallen returned to life. Issei felt like his life was going away, but he managed to resist since there were many people. At the end he wanted to fall, but he resisted more when he saw the girl's concern. Issei. I will give my all so that no one else dies. Meliodas. What do you have planned? Issei. It's time for you to rest a little, yes. Giving everyone a smile and turning around to see the moon. Many did not understand what he was saying, but one person caught it, but before speaking Issei continued. Issei. Have a good sleep, I promise that nothing bad will happen to you. Turning around where everyone was surprised to see his eyes more Kagaya as they were the fusion of Rinnegan the Manjikyu and the Supreme Rinnegan. But what surprised them most was seeing his eyes bleeding. Issei. I have no choice. Kagaya. If there is Issei, don't do this. Naruto. Don't do such nonsense, I still have the strength. Giving him one of his smiles but with some tears. But Issei noticed how low his chakra reserves were and how tired he was. Roswis. We promised to always fight together. Astrid. Don't do this. Hang-san. Brother Issei, I can't let you do this. You fought for us before, now it's our turn to do our part. Makarov. You are part of fairy tale. Quetzalcoatl. I won't forgive you if you do something crazy, this one Isama is going to be angry. Releasing some tears. Issei just gave them a smile as lines of blood ran down his cheeks. Issei. As long as I live, no one will hurt you. Raising his hand to the sky. Kagaya. Everyone, look down, don't look. Everyone heeded the great danger's words. Issei. Infinite Tsukiyomi. Instantly, throughout the world, Issei's Supreme Rinnegan could be seen. Many resisted but it was impossible and little by little they were enveloped by cocoons. The girls who were in the house saw the light as their bodies moved against their will only to be enveloped, as well as the Rinnegan appeared in everyone's eyes. On the battlefield many resisted but to no avail. Kagaya. But how is it possible? Issei. He's not like the others. I never wanted to use this ability, but I had no choice. Watching how her loved ones were slowly enveloped by the cocoon. Kagaya. Issei. Those were her last words before she was completely enveloped. Issei only clenched his fist just to see her loved ones, brothers and friends of hers in such a state. But she wiped away her tears only to see how Trixie was making a full recovery. Before achieving this, Issei went against him and hit him in the abdomen, sending him flying away from the planet and destroying everything in his path. Issei left after him in the same way, and once outside his home he only let out a sigh. Issei. Absolute defense. Wrapping everything in a barrier so that he wouldn't be affected. Seconds later he heard laughter, and when he turned around there was Trixie in his human form. Trixie. You're ready to die. Issei. No. Going against Issei where they both clashed their fists. Soon. Some time later and they both fought giving everything they had. Issei was on his knees with many wounds where Trixie had a smile. Trixie. Last words. Issei said nothing as the apocalypse launched a huge attack. Issei. Me that one. Grand finale. Previously in the most powerful being. All of Issei's friends and brothers joined the battle giving their all. The leaders were the happiest knowing that they had a chance to win, but as the days went by the situation was the same, since Trixie had a great amount of power. Issei, with no other option, had to use skills that would kill a normal human instantly, but he managed to resist. After using the infinite Tsukiyomi he took Trixie out of the battlefield to have a one-on-one duel. Present. 4 months had passed since both beings began a great battle while destroying everything in their path. Trixa was the most surprised to learn how strong his enemy was for having resisted so long. He sent several of his clones to finish the job, but in the end it was in vain since Issei's barrier prevented them from entering, and the blonde-haired man also sent his clones in the same way. Trixa. Because you better give up. Since you will never win, it's like you're fighting against yourself. Issei. Then if that's the case, I'll have to give more of myself to be able to disappear you. Trixa. Ha, try it. Instantly they both launched the attack with all their power, destroying many stars in the process. Meanwhile in the infinite Tsukiyomi, everyone had their best dreams, being one more perfect life for the girls. Since Irina woke up from her dream, she looked around her thinking that she was dead, but when she saw Issei lying near her, she let out a sigh that woke up the sleeping man. Issei. Wow, you woke up early today. Irina. I just had a nightmare. Issei. Which one? Irina. The battle against Trixa. I don't know how we managed it in the end. Issei. Our friends helped us and we finally made it. Irina. But because I'm alone and the others. Issei. You didn't want me to sleep alone, so you take turns and you all want to sleep together, but after the wedding. Irina. I know. Although it's nice to have you to myself. Approaching to give him a kiss, but at that moment the door opened and a gray-haired girl entered and jumped into both of their beds. Issei. You have small energy. Iri. I wanted to surprise you, but you were already awake too, Chan. Outing. Issei. If you want, I'll go back to sleep. Lying down on the bed and closing his eyes, making Irina and Iri laugh at such an action. Iri. Two-chan, wake up. Issei. It's already daylight. Iri. Belfast Ka-chan already made the low food, yes. Issei. You want to go horseback riding? Iri. Yep. Irina. Me too. Issei. Good. Standing up and putting Iri on her shoulders and Irina on her back, seconds later the three came down with laughter. Mikishin. Irina, because you still act like a child. Irina. What's wrong with Issei, isn't it? Issei. I like you to be yourself. Naruko. That's why I love you. Rafia. Let's go eat because we have to go to the academy picnic. Alright. It will be more fun for Issei, ha. Lefei. It's true, the children took him to play all day. Gabriel. Issei is someone who is weak against children. Issei. I like seeing his smiles. Giving the girls a smile that makes them blush despite the time they've been together, they don't get used to it. Some time later the group was under the sakura trees watching the flowers fall with the other people. Isaka. After so long there is finally peace. Mocha. You're right, everything is prettier this way. Enterprise. I know what I'm going to say is silly, but how that battle ended I don't remember much. Eidos. Well. Trying to remember, but it was impossible, just like the rest, the more they tried, the less they remembered. Aphrodite. Maybe something happened that day that prevents us from remembering. Issei. Girls, something's wrong with you. Morelia. What happened in that battle? Issei. We managed to defeat him with my brothers, it wasn't that easy, but we did it. Pagaya. Seriously. Standing up, and that something was not liking her and that little by little, she had memories of seeing eyes she had never seen before. Pagaya. Issei, I can see your Rinnegan. Without understanding, he attended and activated it, being his usual self. Pagaya. It's really a lot of joy. Always after the war there are only a few moments of peace, but in the end an idiot always comes out, but not today. Margarita. You're right, a year has passed and nothing. Everyone instantly saw Issei while he had a smile. Issei. Well, in the end they discovered it, I guess it's not perfect yet. Griselda. Issei, what's happening? Pagaya. We're in it, Tsukiyomi. Quetzalcoatl. What is that? Pagaya. A dream. But the mistake Issei made was that he put us all together in a dream. That only made our memories slowly come back. Issei. At least you had to be together. Ingvald. So the battle still continues. Issei. Exactly, and well, you can't leave here since you are safe. Seraphol. How can you say that? Ice-chan is outside fighting and we are here. Kanrenksu. We have to go. Issei. I'm sorry but it's impossible. Activating his eyes again. Issei. This is the 8th time we've done this, I hope you'll forgive me. But before the girls responded they fell to the ground again. On the other hand, Trixa was on the ground where, looking up, she noticed a large amount of accumulated power that Issei instantly sent towards him. Trixa tried to create, but it was too late, receiving the attack fully, destroying the planet he was on by the explosion. Issei quickly turned around just to stop Trixa's attack. Issei. It seemed too easy to be true. Trixa. Ha, you know an Igarashi Issei house. Taking the arm of his rival and giving him a blow to the stomach that sent him flying away through the sun. Trixa. Why don't you better join me? And so together we will govern all dimensions. Being together we will be invincible. Issei. First dead before fighting alongside you. Trixa. You are very foolish to know that you have no chance against me. Issei. At least I learned something from my previous enemies. Trixa. I accept that you are strong, but I am a divine being who will never fall, and it is all thanks to you. Issei. In every corner of the universe there can only be one divine being, and that will be me. Freaksa. Big words for a simple lucky human. Issei. It's because I am the lion of pride and I always keep my words. Besides, I threw something out that I hope sticks firmly in that tiny brain. Going against him and hitting him in the face. Issei. If my legs can't hold up, I'll make them hold up. If the gods do not bleed, I will make them bleed. I am already condemned to be the strongest. I will live with that weight until the day I die. Freaksa. Ha 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 ha, damn human, I'll make you feel what pain is. Issei. You should know one thing, Trixa, and that is that I have received many titles, but they have never mattered to me. But today I will use them. Joining both hands and then separating them. Issei. I am the god of creation and destruction. I had to kill many gods to reach this level. Trixa was about to say something, but then Issei entered the spiritual form, Trixa upon seeing that transformed into a dragon, and they both went on the attack. Issei wrapped his fist in a red color much redder than the blood that hit one of Trixa's heads. When he saw that he just formed a big smile, but he erased it when he couldn't regenerate it. Trixa. What did you do to me? Cursed. Punching Issei away. Issei. I thought it wasn't going to work but it did. Trixa. What did you do to me? Issei. Easy. And I used a power of destruction powered by the Hakai, in addition to using the Emperor's Haki. At the same time I used my own blood to destroy it. Trixa. You still had your tricks. Issei. Trixa, I will tell you a secret that I have told no one, least of all my fiancés, and that is that since I reached my limit when I was human, I faced great enemies like giants or cow. I told everyone that I gave my all but it was all a lie and I have never been serious against anyone but. Looking up and having a blank stare. Issei. For the first time in my life I will go seriously and show you everything I acquired on my travels. All thousands of weapons were formed around him. Issei. Let the real battle begin. Trixa. That's what I wanted to hear, and since you'll give it your all, I'll do the same. Taking the human form of him where he snapped his fingers, only for thousands of portals to form behind him, and little by little beasts of the apocalypse began to emerge. Trixa. You think you are the only one who can travel between dimensions because you are wrong. Creating a clone that he sent to hurt the other beasts to give him his power. Little by little the beasts began to change and increase their power. Issei thought. I hope you girls are okay. Going on the attack while the great army of the apocalypse went against him. Pagaya felt a pain in her heart and at the same time a tear came out without understanding why. Sarada. Something's wrong with you, Kagaya-ka-san. Pagaya. I'm fine. Go with the others if I'm happy for this moment of fun. Sarada just nodded and left. Kagaya held her arm since the march that Issei put on her was burning her, where seconds later many memories of her came back to her when she saw how Issei put her in the infinite Tsukiyomi. Issei. You are stronger than I thought. Pagaya. Please don't stop me, I have to go with him. Issei. I won't. If that is your wish, my duty is a possible approach. Pagaya. Get me out of here, I have to be by his side. Issei just gave him a smile where he created a door. Issei. This was what you always wanted because you left it aside. Pagaya. You're right, I always wanted this but with the others. Issei. I had to separate them since they regained consciousness very quickly. Pagaya. I'll go get them. Opening the door, but not before seeing the girls play for the last time. As he left the door he opened the cocoon only to fall to the ground from exhaustion. As he stood up he looked around him and was surprised to notice that Issei was using his energy to keep everyone healthy. Pagaya. Even when fighting, you take care of us. Walking while he looked for the rest who little by little he found until everyone was gathered. Office. I won't lie, the last one felt very real. Pagaya. He separated us so we couldn't react. Hinata. It was a nice dream. Enemu. But if we finish this, that dream can come true. Eidos. We need to rest a little before going into battle. Raftalia. Even if Issei kept us safe, he sealed our abilities. Naruko. In a hurry I use a weak seal so I can undo it, but I need time, okay. Aviana. If there is no other option. Astrid. Issei, please wait a little longer. In space Issei was on his knees where, just by looking up, thousands of attacks hit him squarely. But when the smoke cleared, his body recovered in an instant. Seconds later, a gigantic Rumorio appeared behind him. Issei. Let's see how good you are with magic. Creating thousands of circles behind him only to launch all kinds of attacks covered with anti-magic. Trixa, seeing this, used several of her people to defend herself so as not to receive the attack. Trixa. Not bad. You have managed to resist each attack for so long, regardless of whether it is long or short distance. Issei. That's all you have to say. Trixa. Yes, and if you get serious I will too. Extending both hands to attract the other beasts to absorb them. When he finished his power was much larger than before. Trixa. Today you no longer have the opportunity to beat me. Issei. In order to protect my family I had to train like crazy in addition to learning many skills. Although I am proud of stealing them either but I have no choice. Taking attack position while one of his eyes was the Rinnegan and the other was like a red star. Issei. I will use everything I see to defeat you. Going to attack just like Trixa, already being close, Trixa was about to hit him in the face, but Issei launched an air bullet that deflected the attack from him and he took the opportunity to hit him in the face, sending him flying. Trixa looked up only to see how Issei walked in the air and how each of his steps caused cracks. That only excited the beast who quickly got up and went to attack with all his power, just like Issei, who with just colliding their fists many universes were destroyed. Hours later Issei was on his knees as he spit out blood. Trixa. This is the end for you Igarashi Issei, you gave me some fun, but I already know all your tricks and the truth is I admire you for being able to have great skills. Plus you were stupid for not asking for help. Issei. Even if I die I won't let others die in front of my eyes. For that reason, I didn't call other people because I hate seeing people who give their lives for me. Trixa. That is your weakness that many take advantage of. But don't worry when you die they will all accompany you. Issei. As long as I'm still breathing, you won't get close to anyone. Trixa. Hahaha thanks for the fun. Creating a large sphere with all his power while Issei was on his knees waiting for the attack, seconds later he launched the sphere while Issei closed his eyes. Issei thought. If I die, at least all my power will go to the defense, only then can I protect them. I hope you forgive me. Trixa only formed a smile when she noticed that he had given up, so she turned around to leave, while Issei just waited, but the attack never came, so he opened his eyes, only to be surprised to see the girls creating a shield that they managed. Stop the attack. Before he could say anything Lefei approached to slap her while she had some tears. Who knew? Why do you put so much weight on yourself? Prince. You forget that we were always going to fight together. Lefei. You always do the same stupid things. Najire. Maybe you were planning to die alone. We made a promise to always be together. Issei. Gabriel. Don't do it again because we couldn't bear the thought of being without you. Issei. I don't want to lose you. Because the day you are gone from me I swear that the universe will ask me for mercy. Serafal. That will never happen so get up and let's go home together. Extending his hand with a smile that Issei took and then stood in front of the girls. Trixa. Wow then there will be more fun hahaha. Issei. I don't consider myself a hero of justice, but if someone dares to hurt my loved ones, I will not forgive them. Going on the attack like the girls where Naruko, Hinata, Lefei, Claire and Office transformed into a dragon like the rest used their best skills. Trixa just formed a big smile as she wanted to continue playing where she allowed herself to be attacked while time returned to regenerate her body again. Mikishin. Use all your power to block his skills girls. Both angels nodded and united their vacuoles, creating a more powerful one, making Trixa tremble a little when she felt such power gathered. Before he could do anything Yukon and Amaterasu stopped him while Mikishin stabbed the vacuum into his chest, making Trixa scream in pain. Ichigami. Malvezo's power has been sealed and without it we have a better chance. Issei. I understand. Going to the attack while Trixa separated both girls and went to the attack in the same way, only with great fury when she noticed what they had just done. Issei summoned a sword as well as Trixa where the two collided. Trixa. It's no use fighting because when this is all over nothing will be different. Issei. It doesn't matter. Trixa. For them you are just a monster like me, they need you now, but when they don't, they will push you aside like a leper, they will forget you at the first sign of peace, they are only so good when they are in danger, I assure you when if there are difficulties, you will be the first one they look for. Because these trashes are afraid of someone who is stronger than them. Hearing those words, Issei lowered his head, causing the girls to get a little scared since they knew how Issei was treated. Issei. It may be like that, but if that is my destiny I will accept it because there will always be people who will need me. Separating their swords and taking distance. Trixa. I'm just telling it like it is. Issei. This battle has to come to an end. Trixa. Finally you say something that makes sense. Taking his dragon form surprising the girls by his change since they didn't know how strong he had become. Brunhild. Issei, do you remember the day we met? Issei. It was during a battle, I will never forget it. Brunhild. Those humans were going to give their lives for people they didn't know, just like my sisters. So it's time for me to do the same. Issei. What do you mean? Brunhild. You protected me in the past and it is time for me to do the same for you. Issei. No. Brunhild. We will be together, we promised it the day you proposed to me and it is time for my soul to be part of yours. Approaching Issei with a smile, he grabbed her waist. Brunhild. Voland. Seconds later a great light surrounded them both where little by little it began to dissipate that at the end, Issei had a full body armor of white and gold. Issei. With her close to me I will never lose. taking out the sword from her and going to the attack with the rest. Where, being close to her, he cut off one of Trixa's heads, which took a while to regenerate. Issei. Without his abilities you are nothing. Trixa. Damn. Launching multiple attacks of all types of magic, but then Issei's sword changed shape to a golden one that just touching the magic disappeared. Issei. Magic is useless with this in my hands. Trixa. How can you have that? Doesn't it affect you too? Issei. I possess the grimoire of the world, I can use any magic that exists. Going on the attack like the rest of the girls. Naruko. Kurama, I need more power, tell me there is another way. Kurama. There is, but if we use it it could be the end. Naruko. If it's for my family I would do anything, I know Issei will understand me. Kurama. So this is our companion adventure. Naruko. That's how it will be, it was a pleasure to see these adventures. Kurama. I say the same. They both put their hands together and used their entire chakra, where Naruko began to change as a chakra coat and like a mask formed. Issei, feeling such an increase in power, knew that it was not good, so he quickly went to her. Issei. Naruko, what the hell are you doing? Naruko. I do it for my family. Issei. As long as I live, no one will die except you, who are my student and the person who makes me laugh a lot. Naruko. I already did it, now there is no turning back. Issei. That won't happen. Putting her hand on Naruko's chest and giving part of her life to both her and her partner. Issei. Now you have a part of me so you won't leave my side. Naruko. You are amazing as always sensei. Forming a smile and then going on the attack. Issei. Sikvaria, you remember that there was a third Gundam, right? Sikvaria. Yes, but what does it have to do with it? Issei. It's time for it to be used. Opening a portal where a large ship emerged in front of them, seconds later a large door opened while showing the new Gundam. Issei. This one is special since it requires it to be handled by two people. Sikvaria. So. Issei just formed a smile under his helmet and then created a clone. Issei. I wish you luck. Returning to the battlefield as they were both teleported to the command room to connect. Seconds later Sikvaria saw Issei's entire life and hers. The green-haired girl, of course, did not ask to avoid shedding a tear when she learned about her life. Clone. Demon all of us yes. Sikvaria. That's how it will be. Bumping his fist into her palm before flying off and joining the battle. Many of the girls were surprised to see that but continued with the battle. Urza. I never thought I would have such a battle. Siko. I say the same, but these are the moments where we have to give our all. Joining their swords and going on the attack to cut off another of the Apocalypse's heads. While in Issei's space he was in front of Brunhild. Issei. Thank you. Brunhild. If you say that, it's because you have something in mind, right? Issei. That's right, and for that I need everyone to move away a little. I'll wear something I thought I'd never have to wear. Brunhild. You have our full support. Issei. When it's over you and the rest create your best seals. Brunhild. We will. Just to give her a smile, out of mental space the armor disappeared and she called the rest, while Issei created a clone to stop Trixa for a while. Sikvaria was teleported without her realizing it along with the others to an uninhabited place. Murahin. Issei, what's happening? Issei. I will use a skill to stop them, but I need your help too. Lucina. What do you want? Issei. We are going to seal it, and for that we need to create many seals of all kinds. Isabella. We will do our best. Issei. Use all your power on those seals and I'll do the rest. Risu. What skill will you use? Valerie. I hope it's not stupid, okay. Issei. Don't worry. Jumping as the girls began to create their best stamps. While Trixa was cutting the robot in half, but not before receiving one last attack from him. Trixa. I thought you ran away. Issei. As long as you are free that will never happen. Trixa. No matter what you use, you will never do anything to me because I will always come back ha 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 ha. Issei. This battle comes to an end now. Letting out a sigh as she began to walk towards Trixa at the same time her skin began to peel away from her body. Issei. I, the one who transcended the limits of the known. Remembering his first day of training. Issei. I am the one who started from the deepest hole and climbed to the highest peak in the world. His first big battle against the frost giants. Issei. The one who has achieved the enlightenment of all knowledge. The path he had to follow to achieve who he is now. Issei. I will stand up to every enemy no matter who it is. As he had to kill every enemy that threatened his loved ones. Issei. The one who saved infinite lives. Like many people, they loved him for having saved them without asking for anything in return. Issei. I am the one who represents the will of the weak and the strong. As the people who died in front of him gave him the mission of taking care of his friends. Issei. True divine form. His body became the same universe where at the same time it became large in size, surpassing Trixa. In addition to the fact that a pair of more arms appeared, the girls who were far away were surprised by such appearance and great power that he transmitted. When Issei opened his eyes, Trixa couldn't help but feel fear as he noticed great power. Trixa. You're a bucking monster. Issei only opened his eyes as he was the same universe. Issei. Universal Sage Mode. She said it without opening her lips where Trixa felt her power even more and without the option she escaped since she had a bad feeling. Issei. Sealing magic. Enclosing Trixa in a sphere filled with seals. Trixa tried to escape, but it was impossible. He used every ability he had, but it was unnecessary. Issei. You hurt my loved ones and it's time for you to return to the place you came from. Trixa. Damn, I'll kill you. Using all his power, but just as he appeared he disappeared since another magic circle appeared beneath his that was impossible to copy. Issei. It took me years to create that seal, but it was worth it. Trixa. Remember that I am the apocalypse, even if you kill me and seal me, there will always be destruction. No matter how many years it takes I will come back and kill you. Issei. And I'll be ready for that. Joining his other hands to create one last seal being the sealing one. Issei. Sealed Igarashi. Where several chains appeared that wrapped Trixa and little by little began to drag him. Issei. Now girls. Upon hearing that, they created all kinds of seals that launched to chain Trixa of all kinds. Issei. The next person who tries to free you will have to have in mind ancient Norse magic, magic of a witch, chakra of gods, divine Kai among others. Trixa. I will never forget you Igarashi Issei. I swear that I will kill you along with your descendants. Letting out big laughs while Issei little by little returned to his true appearance. Seconds later Trixa was sealed again in thousands of seals. Issei just fell since he didn't have any strength, but at that point the girls took him in their arms. Issei. For the first time I will say this, and it is that I am getting tired. Serafal. Now you can rest as much as you want. Astet. You are amazing. Something has been done that will go down in history. Shiel. Rest yes. Issei. I can't yet, I have to get them out of sleep. Misako. They're going to be mad at you for what you did. Issei. As long as they live I can bear that ha 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 ha. Esdeath. You are someone incredible ha 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 ha. Ishtar. Now that everything is over, we have to plan the wedding. Tiamat. You're seriously talking about that at such a time. Ishtar. Well, later Issei will have a lot to say after the battle. Issei. I will send a clone so I will listen to each of his ideas happily. Nezuko. I want it to be a little old-fashioned, you know, no. Issei. I will look for a lot of outfits, but it will be worth it. Abriel. Let's go home, yes. Issei just nodded where Office created a dimensional gap to return to her home. Once there, Issei put his hand on the ground where the cocoons began to disappear and people fell to the ground. They looked around in search of the enemy, but there was nothing, just the group of girls, along with a shirtless blonde-haired man with many wounds. Issei stood up from the ground and extended his hand with a smile. Issei. The war has come to an end. The soldiers without understanding much let out a loud shout for victory, while those closest to Issei let out a sigh for the foolishness he did. Natsu. Damn, my brother-in-law is the best. Bray. Brother-in-law like. Natsu. I'll tell you later ha 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 it's time to celebrate that everything is over. Going to Issei like the rest way they took him and lifted him up while the girl just watched Issei's joy. After a few minutes they put him down and when he was about to say something, a white-haired man with green tips took him by the head and put him between her breasts, leaving the girls shocked when they saw such a thing. Yamato. You are someone incredible ha 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 I won't let you go. Sanji. No. Maybe you're not comfortable with them, maybe you want someone else. Enterprise. I didn't expect this. Hang-san. Ha 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 you are amazing brother. Xiaowu. That happens when you don't have it under control, you girls heard me. All. We know. Qian Renksu. But it's hard to avoid that someone didn't want it. The others nodded in confirmation since it was true. The others didn't know what to say about Issei's luck, but they left it at that. Surzich. Today will be the day of the strongest person in the alliance, and his name is Igarashi Issei. Instantly everyone screamed his name at the top of their lungs, while he was running out of oxygen for Yamato, and he couldn't get away from her, since he didn't have any strength. Satama. And now what? Aviana. It's time to celebrate so let's go home. Siko. Open good food. Luffy. Someone said food. Charmy. Sensei's food. They both saw each other and shook hands as they had something in common. The days passed and they spent it celebrating, obviously Issei did it only with those closest to him, with only joy on the part of everyone. After a while everyone began to say goodbye as they had things to do too. Issei. And tell me Luffy, you already achieved it. Luffy. That's right and the truth is they were right when you said those words to me in the past. Issei. And now what? Luffy. I will look for unknown places since my story is just beginning. Issei. I'm glad and I hope you're happy. He just nodded with his typical smile and then left as did his companions, except for Yamato who did not want to leave. Issei. As I know, your dream was to travel by sea, no. Yamato. I will have better adventures here and I wish to follow you. He just gave her a smile and then left to say goodbye to the rest. Lefei. Well, Noel, how are things going? Noel. Well, we have had very difficult battles and after so long the Bacasta had the courage to say it. Lefei. I imagine. Noel. But you know what No is like. There are 2 other people. Lefei. Ha 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 ha, you wanted it for yourself, right? Noel. The truth is yes, and because of the rush they couldn't come. Lefei. Everything in its time. Meanwhile Issei was in front of Asta and Yami. Issei. 2 singles who finally realized the feelings of 2 people ha 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 ha. Asta. Hey. Yami. That's how you talk to your captain. Issei. It's the truth from afar you could tell that they were in love with you more than Noel. Yami. You're right about that, but you know, the more muscle, the more idiotic one is. Issei. That's why I'm skinny. Both Asta and Yami got angry at such a comment. Makarov. Children, I hope they are happy and I am proud that they have a family plus your Natsu. Urza. Thank you for everything, just like you. Warahin. Take care brothers and don't do anything stupid, okay. They both nodded and gave him a smile. Asami. It's a pleasure to meet Natsu's family. Sona. I say the same. Makarov. He may be stupid, but he is someone with a good heart. They both nodded with a smile, little by little everyone began to say goodbye with a smile. Issei. When the wedding day comes, I hope you can attend, yes. Meliodas. That's how it will be and my son will come ha 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 ha. Just after saying that, Issei kicked him. And before saying anything better he took a shot at his account, making his wives let out a sigh. Little by little they all left, only the Igarashi family remained. Issei. And what do you want to do? Isaka. Well, we are going to rest since serving many people was not so easy. Hiroka. Well you are going to give many conferences ha ha ha. Issei. I just. Claire. Of course not dear. They will go with you. Pointing to the dragons and Karama who were in the room watching TV. Issei. I better go alone. Matatabi. The truth is we want some girl time and that's why we want them to go away for a while. Issei. Maybe I'm a babysitter or what? Mocha. I want to just say yes okay. Giving him a beautiful smile. Issei. They say that the happy ones are the scariest ones and now I confirm it. Mocha. Sorry I didn't listen to you. Issei. I said that they are all beautiful and need their time. He charged against the group where before they could say anything he was teleported, causing the group to laugh. The days passed and everything returned to normal, except for Issei who spent his time chatting while his friends wanted to escape, but it was impossible. Meanwhile the girls had the room full of papers with ideas for their weddings, while the girls helped with what they could. But there was always someone who wanted to die since knowing that Issei did not have that much power, he went to take revenge at his house, only so that when he was close, he felt a great murderous aura from the girls, especially when a person stood behind him. But before he could say anything he was killed, Office after finishing off his enemy returned to the house to continue with his plans. And so a year passed where everything was quiet for the Igarashi family where Issei began to travel in search of his friends. Issei was in front of a restaurant that he had not seen for a long time, where when he opened the door it was full. He walked a little until he was in front of the kitchen. Issei. In the end, your dream came true, no. The red-haired chef turned around only to see his great friend in front of him. Soma. Issei, it's been a long time since I've seen you. Issei. And you managed to defeat your father. Soma. Obviously I own Yukihira now. Issei just gave a smile only to see a raven-haired girl come out of a room. Arena. Yukihira, we're running out of ingredients. Walking down the house only to see Issei with a smile. Arena. Issei, long time no see that brings you here. Soma. Wait. Leaving the kitchen and being in front of all the guests. Soma. The restaurant is closed so everyone get out of here. Because. Soma. I have a guest and I want to talk to him, so leave yes. Without saying more they left since they knew what the chef was like. At the end he closed the restaurant where the three sat down with a cup of tea. Soma. Well. Issei. Remember what I told you when I left? Soma. Sure, then it's time. Issei. That's right. I know it took a long time, but finally there is some peace of mind. Soma. I'm ready ha 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 ha. Plus I'll show you how much it improves. Issei. That's how it will be and don't worry about your things, you'll have everything there. Arena. How long will it be to tell the others? Issei. Maybe a few years. Soma. You're kidding, right, that will be weird. Issei. Don't worry, just as we leave, time will stop here and flow again when you return as if nothing had happened. Ichiro. It will be interesting. Issei. You finally lost time without seeing yourself old. Ichiro. I had to let him win ha 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 ha. Soma. I beat you fair and square. Tamako. Stop fighting okay. Issei. Nice to see you again. Tamako. Let's take action, yes. Issei. You guys go, I have to go get the others for the party. Opening a portal. Issei. The others will be there, I hope they have a good time. The group nodded and left the place, but not before taking their kitchen weapons. Seconds later Issei left the place in search of his other friends to take them to the party, and in the same way he stopped time. Hornet. The time has come, no sister. Enterprise. That's right, I've been waiting for it for a long time haha. Hornet. You are adorable sister, not like in the past that were scary. Giving him a hug while Enterprise let out a sigh. Issei. Since you are all here, I hope you have a good time since for me you are my family and I wanted you to be present on this day. You bye. We are happy to be here. Issei. Good. Soma. Well then it's time for a battle. Issei. You really want to lose. Ichiro. I sincerely want to beat you so I join in. Charmy. I trained a long time so I'm ready. Sanji. I'll show all of you what good food is. And practiced a little, you'll see. The six had a posture like cowboys just waiting for the signal. Mikishin only created several cooking places where Siko gave the signal and everyone ran out to cook. Goku. It will be a good battle, I'm ready. Luffy. I'll be fair. Siko. I say the same thing so try hard honey. Noel. You can Charmy senpai. Enemu. It will be a difficult battle. Who will be the winner of this great battle? Akame. It will be delicious. Kurum. You're still the same sister. Rengoku. Come on guys this is fun ha 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 ha. Everyone watched the battle with excitement and after a few minutes of cooking everyone was done. The three judges had a serious face as they began the tasting and after several minutes they all put the winning dish, which was Issei's. Issei. I hope you liked it. Soma. Hey. Issei just laughed as some were on their knees in defeat. Siko. Not for nothing does he have the title of the god of cooking. Charmy. I still have a lot to learn. Issei. You have improved. Soma. Well it's time to move on to the real food. Arena. Oh no. Seeing Soma and her father-in-law smile as well as Issei. Instantly the three returned to the kitchen while the three judges were happy to try more food. But once they had the plate in front of them, they took a while and after just taking a bite they vomited it out. Issei. And which one is the best? Seeing how the three were passed out. But Goku approached with little strength, only to point out Issei's where he began to laugh at the victory and then he took out a notebook to write down the victory while the other two did the same. Arena. Men. Hamako. That's what they are hahaha. The days passed and everyone was preparing for the party, plus the guests who went to buy their suits, leaving many shocked because of how good they looked. And after so long the first big wedding began, being Arena's where it was in a church and Michael himself married them. Wrong. I have a doubt how all this will be. Who knew? It will be one wedding per month so every month there will be a big party. Lucina. Great haha. Ereshkigal. In total it will be 56 months hahaha. Ford's like 4 years hahaha. Soma. Wow this will be fun since I have so many ideas for cakes. You will really help me, darling. Arena. Without me you can't do anything. Soma. It's true hahaha. Holding his wife's hand while she had a blush on her cheeks. And so the months passed with wedding after wedding that for some was joy since they could see great celebrations like never before where each one did it in their own style. Yamato was the last one who left her friends in shock since they did not expect her to fall in love with her since she had other ideas but they congratulated her and other people joined the wedding, some being double or triple. Hang-san. Time passed so quickly and now you are married. Issei. I never thought this moment would come, honestly. In the past I was an ordinary person with simple ideas but over time those ideas changed. Hang-san. I hope you have a good life brother. Issei. Same with you. Entering the house only to see many bottles which gave Issei a bad feeling. Hang-san. What happened here? Asta. They were drinking calmly but Office gave them a golden drink and well, they quickly became like that. Issei. Guys, we better go. Turning around slowly until he heard a voice. Quetzalcoatl. Dear. Hearing that, Issei tensed and slowly turned around only to see a smile on his handcuffs. Arena. Soma-kun. Likewise he tensed since she only called him that when she wanted some action. Xiaowu. Sanji. Tiamat. It's time to grow the family. Issei. Kai. The boys, upon hearing such a scream, thought it was strange. Issei. I mean hey. Yami. I will never forget that hahaha. Charlotte. Yami I want a son. Yami. Kai. Issei. Hahaha I saved it. Asta. Noel, Mimosa, Nero calm down yes. Nero. Let's go Asta yes. Asami. Come on my little dragon. Issei. Guys, I thought this day would never come but it's time to use that plan. Natsu. I don't want to. Goku. I'm scared. Tanjiro. I never wanted to use that plan even though that time would never come. Soma. There is no other option. Where everyone saw each other and nodded. Yulet. Issei you. looking for him only to see him at the door. Issei. Cry-ion. Fleeing at full speed while the rest without thinking ran after them. The girls, seeing that, smiled and went after him in the same way. Greg. You left us a traitor. Satama. Because. Issei. Do you forget what drunk women are like? Taking a look back and a large herd of girls following them. Sanji. I'm going to sacrifice myself. I hope you remember me as a hero. Luffy. No Sanji, they will tear you to pieces. Sanji. It's the only way. Zoro. If so, I hope Nami treats you well. Seeing how Sanji nodded and stopped walking with his hands open and a smile since he really wanted that. But he only received a beating from the girls while Nami dragged him back to the house. Hitsumi. Fallen soldier. Lubbock. Issei, what's the plan? Issei. Without sacrifices there are no victories. Soma. So. Issei. You're a good friend. Soma. Huh. Where Issei put his foot causing Soma to fall to the ground. Soma. Traitor. Issei. I will never forget you friend. Your food was always the best. Asta. Hey, why did you do it? Issei. With honor until the end. So runner maybe you want to suffer. You know. Charmy is scary when she's like this. Issei. Then run. People were just shocked to see their hero running while a group of girls followed them. Tomioka. This is the end of Tomioka the lazy. Stopping his path as Shinobu led him away with a smile. The group only heard his scream for the last time. Greg. You will be the one who will get it the worst hahaha. Kurama. It's true, Koryu, Issei, you won't be able to walk for maybe a year. Issei. Shut up because you only make me scared. Yami. It all started with your wife since she gave them that drink so. Seeing the rest who nodded at him just let Issei fall. He on his part extended his hand. Issei. Don't leave me. Izuru. We will remember you as the hero you are. Issei was about to say something, but then a group of girls surrounded him with a smile. Issei. I can write my will before I leave. Hanada. Nope. Where they all teleported to their special room. Little by little everyone fell. The days passed and the girls were radiating with happiness while the men were almost pale plus Issei who was holding on to a cane. Yui. You're okay too Chan. Issei. Yes, just a little tired from so much exercise. Melty. Just for that. Issei. If you don't believe me. Melty. Not much but it's okay. Thanks Ann. It has been years since I felt as afraid as I do these days. Oscar. Alcohol is scary. Soma. Traitors. Natsu. There was no choice but in the end look on the bright side. Soma. Which one? Natsu. In the end we all fell like brothers hahaha. Meliodas. Sure. Sanji. I don't regret anything. Usopp. She's obviously a top pervert. Astrid. Issei. Issei. Yes, what happens? Astrid. Well, since we are married, what leadership position will you take since the truth is you have many? Issei. None. You know I'm not made to sit around and I want all my time to be spent with you and the girls. Kunu. I'm glad to hear it. A week passed and it was time to say goodbye after having a visitor for so long where everyone left, leaving only the family. Days passed, then weeks and months until years passed. At that time, both Issei and his wives trained the girls at their request since they wanted to be strong like them. Issei couldn't refuse and helped them the best he could, just giving them advice since to get to the top they had to climb on their own. Over time they became adults making Issei a little sad since they would have their own adventures, but to his joy, they were still as attached as always. But one day Issei was sitting on a couch while the girls were behind him, while a red-haired boy and a silver-haired boy were on their knees shaking in fear. Issei. Maybe I heard wrong girls. Clary. Of course not dear, they are here to have our permission to go out with my dear sister and daughter. Issei. Thank you. Giving him a smile and then changing it to a serious one that scared both of them even more. Issei. Militias, Tristan. They both stood up straight as they looked into his eyes and at the same time sweated from fear. Issei. I won't use Gabriel's ability because I want yourselves to tell me why. Milikas. I have liked Yui since I was a child from the first time I saw her enter the academy. Over time that love grew until not long ago I had the courage to confess to him. What I'm glad about is that I accepted myself, but I didn't want to take the next step since I wanted to have the permission of the person I admire the most. He said it with determination in his eyes, while Surzich, who was next to him, felt like a stake was stuck in his chest, causing his wife and parents to laugh. Tristan. It was also love at first sight since I saw Liza. I thought I would forget her with time, but it was a mistake and over time that love grew and I decided to be strong like you godfather. And when she went to visit my parents I was happy and we had some adventures, but only those adventures and nothing more. I also admire it since to this day its history is talked about. Please let me be next to Liza. Bound like Milikas while Issei continued with the same expression. Surzich. Issei, don't torture them anymore. I admire you for having the courage to come. Issei. They are my daughters Surzich, I don't want them to leave my side, but I know that sooner or later this would happen. Letting out a sigh to see his daughter and little sister. Issei. What do you tell me? Yui. He was good to me and I love him dad. I hope I have your approval as well as you mom. Enemu. I trust you daughter. Liza. He insisted a lot, but he's fun and he's gentlemanly, he's not like Uncle Meliosa's, and his would have been like that even if he was underground. Tristan just broke out in a cold sweat and was happy that his mother raised him well. Issei. I see. So if so, you have my permission. Both of them were happy when they heard that. Issei. But. Milika's Tristan. But. Issei. Enterprise, remember what I said when we went sailing. Enterprise. Of course, they first have to pass a test just like us. Both of them, seeing the smile of all the girls, made Milika's even more scared. Milika's. Aunt Grafia, Aunt Siko will help me right? Siko? Nope. They are my little ones and I won't make it easy for you. Grafia. That's why I told your mom that she will train you since sooner or later this day would come. Issei. My test is simple, and that is to resist one of my blows. Tristan. What? Maybe you want me to die. Issei. If you love my little sister you would have to be sure to lose your life for her. Tristan. You're right, Godfather, I'm sorry. Remembering how her father told her how Issei fought with every enemy just for the happiness of her family. Milika's remembered the stories of Grafia and her mother, so she stood up as did Tristan. Milika's. Let us begin the tests. Tristan. We would give our lives for them. Both girls were happy hearing those words. Greg. I took care of both girls so they won't have it easy, brats. Kurama. Some action ha 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 ha. Tristan. Come with everything, I'm not afraid. Milika's. I will demonstrate the fruit of my training. Instantly both were teleported to different places. Enemu. As her mother I will be the first. Milika's. What do you want me to do? Enemu. You should know that my daughter is a fallen angel and you are a demon. Milika's. I am aware of it. Enemu. You think they will have a good life when both sides find out about their relationship. Even though there is peace, there is still discrimination. Milika's. I won't let anyone hurt her. Enemu. Words are one thing and blows are another thing. Milika's. As the next heir of the Gremory house, I will give my all so that all that is erased, so that many can live happily. Enemu. I know you're going to make it. I trust your word so I ask you to take care of my daughter. And while everyone in the room watched making Yui cry when she saw that she had permission from one of her mothers. Milika's formed a smile and went to the next place. Claire. If my sister really loves you, you must know everything she has experienced. Tristan. That's right. And I swear that no one will approach her since first they will have to go through my corpse. Because if I learned anything from my godfather, it is that family comes before anything. Claire. If I find out that you made her cry there will be no place for you to hide because I will find you and make you suffer. Taking a serious look while the others of hers were of a dragon. Tristan just nodded. Claire. Then go and I wish you luck in your tests. He just gave her a smile and continued on his way where he crossed paths with Milika's, both of them taking the path. Each test was about fighting and endurance, some were genjutsus that they barely managed to pass. Many times they were hurt but they still managed to do it since both the girls and the boys noticed their bravery despite the danger they were in and after so many trials they were in front of the person they admired the most. Issei saw them and healed them instantly, leaving them surprised since they didn't even see how she did it. Issei. Use the best defense you have or join forces because it won't hold me back, okay? They both nodded seriously. Tristan activated his demon mark and Milika's formed an armor with the power of destruction and then combined both abilities and created a shield. Seconds later Issei went against them with his fist outstretched and when he collided with the shield they both almost fell to their knees from the impact but managed to stay standing. Issei gave a slight smile and put more strength as they both gave their all. Tristan. I will never give up. Milika's. Neither do I. Hearing that, Issei extended one of his fingers, destroying both of their shields. When they saw that, they just closed their eyes to receive the blow, but they only received a small blow on the forehead. Issei. They pass, so I hope they are happy. Taking both boys by his shoulders and then returning to the house. Before they said anything, a silver-haired girl approached them both and grabbed them by the neck. Eerie. They make my sisters cry, I swear I will kill them and revive them again and again until I am satisfied. They both nodded quickly as they knew how strong he was. Issei on the other hand had his chest puffed out when he saw how she was his daughter. Eerie seeing that gave his father a smile which he returned. Years passed and his wives became pregnant and they agreed that it would be at the same time so that their children would grow up together. Many took advantage of that to try to kidnap them in order to take one of Issei's children, but just by having that idea in mind, both Issei and his daughters finished them off in an instant. On the day of the birth in the hospital many people were waiting as well as Thor, who was biting his nerve nails. While Issei walked from one lake to another making a hole in the ground. When his daughters saw that, they only laughed because of their nerves until they heard the crying of many children, and without wasting time she went to them only to see their wives with some children in their hands. Issei. You could have easily avoided all this, right? Betos. Yes, but we wanted to have a normal birth. Serafal. Plus you could spoil us a lot like that haha. Issei had a chill when he remembered how many trips she had to take across the world to satisfy her cravings, although there were times when she had to go to other dimensions, but it was worth it. Issei created several clones to take his children where he couldn't help but shed a few tears. Issei. Now I have a complete family, I am the happiest man in the world. The others, seeing that, couldn't help but shed a tear as they remembered the great path that Issei took to be where he is right now. They slowly approached the little ones and took them in their arms in the same way. Iri. So you'll be my little sister. Kian Renksu. Since you are the eldest, you can name her daughter after her. Issei. I know you chose a beautiful one. Iri. Her name will be Igarashi Kinksu. Issei. Like her mother. Iri. They are the same. Kian Renksu. I am happy to have this beautiful family. Iri put his little sister in his arms and went to see the others with great joy since one of his greatest wishes was to have a family and now he had one. There were many days of parties and gifts from Issei's friends since he obviously told his acquaintances that to his surprise, they also had his children. As time went by, both Issei and his wives and daughters trained the little ones, but there was something that Issei taught them all. He was sitting on a couch while the 10-year-olds were sitting. Issei. Never forget, no matter what danger arises, the first thing you have to do is protect your loved ones. Du-chan, in the future I can be like you. Issei. Anything is possible if you want it. My desire was always to take care of his mothers and sisters. Du-sama, you are amazing. Issei. Thank you. Gabriel. Daughter, who do you love more than your dad or me? The blonde-haired girl placed her small hand on her chin and then gave her a smile. The Du-chan. Seconds later she could see the angel in a corner making circles with her finger while the others comforted her. And Zayton. Don't start a war that you have lost. Alicia. It's true, you must know that they love their dad more than they love us. Ingvald. It shouldn't always be the other way around. Serafal. It's just that they know who is the best, no. Watching how Issei went out to the yard to play with a bunch of children with her big smile. The girls only took photos to save those unique moments. Time passed again, and those children were all teenagers who had their own missions while Issei just watched into the distance. Issei. They grow so fast. Lefei. We taught them as much as we could. Issei. I know they will be good people just like you. Issei. I know I've said it many times, but I'm happy to be alive and see all this. Lefei. Even more so when you found out that you would be a grandfather. Issei. I won't lie, that was great news, but I'm happy as a worm. Lefei. Even though we are very old, you still act like a child. Issei. But you don't want this old man. Lefei just gave her a smile and then put her arms on Issei's neck. Lefei. The answer is obvious no. Giving me a kiss while the evening light covered them. Months later the whole family was in the hospital and now the nervous one was Milika's. Issei. That's how I was. All? Yes. Issei. Wow. Trying not to laugh until they heard the cry of a baby, Milika's was the first to go and then the rest, while Issei just watched everyone run with joy. Issei thought. I got married, I am a father, and now I am a grandfather, I am grateful. Also going where, being close, everyone made way for him only to see how Milika's carried the little one. Seeing Issei, he approached and put him in his arms. Milika's. I talked about it with my wife for a long time and well. Yui. Dad, we want you to name him. Issei saw the girl sleeping peacefully in his arms. He couldn't help but form a smile. Issei thought. You have a beautiful future little one. Issei. Her name will be Asara. Milika's. I like Igarashi Gremory Asara. Issei. But your last name should have come first. Milika's. I want it that way because of you I was able to meet my wife with whom I can now start a family too. Issei. Thank you. Little by little everyone came closer to see the girl without being able to avoid how beautiful she was. 5 years later a little girl had a big smile when she saw Issei. Asara. Grandpa is flying. Issei. I knew you were going to make it, little one. Asara. Hehehehe. Issei. We'll play a little more since your mom will be waiting for you. Asara. I want to be with you, Grandpa. Issei. Kinda okay. She gave him a big smile and they watched a piscacha fly. They later returned to the house only to see the couple waiting. Yui. Late again Dad. Asara. Don't scold Grandpa Kachan. Yui. Of course she's not like that, daughter. Milika's. Come on daughter, it's time to sleep, I'll tell you a story. Asara. I want Grandpa to do it. Milika's. You love him more than you love him. Asara. Yes. She said it without hesitation and with a big smile, while Milika's fainted upon hearing that. Yui. Dad, do it, I'll go get water for him. Issei just smiled at her and went to her granddaughter's room where he laid her down and tucked her in. Issei. Tell me what you want to hear. Isara. How did you meet Grandma Naruko? Issei. It's a long story so listen carefully yes. She nodded quickly as she loved hearing those stories. Days passed and Issei was on top of a mountain watching the sunset until she stood up. Issei. Well, I'll go see how my friends are doing. I haven't seen them in years. Opening a portal and going to your destination. As he walked through a quiet city, obviously no one knew him since his appearance changed where he walked towards a castle. And while there he entered without anyone noticing, and after searching for the aura of his friend, he arrived at a room only to see him lying down. Meliodas. Sate cough cough. I'm not cut out for this anymore. Issei. Wow friend, you look bad. Taking a seat near him. Meliodas. Sooner or later this moment had to come. Issei. And Elizabeth. Meliodas just denied with a smile. Issei just had a sad smile knowing that. Issei. You should have called Tristan. Meliodas. He must have his own adventures and I don't want him to force himself to be on the throne. Issei. I see. Meliodas. There, you can give him a letter for me, yes. Issei. That's how it will be. And the others as they are. Meliodas. Everyone is fine, you know they are almost immortal except me. You know I will finally be able to rest next to her after so many years. Issei. I imagine. Do you have any last wishes? Meliodas. Have one last drink with me like old times. Issei nodded and took Meliodas in her arms to leave the place and be on a hill with 2 mugs of beer. They just stood there without saying any words since it wasn't necessary. Issei. We had great adventures like the day we met, how we fought, or how your friends gave their all to save you. You were someone incredible. Releasing a few more tears when she saw next to her and how Meliodas was still sitting with a smile and his eyes closed and how he was holding his jug. Issei drank his and took his friend in his arms and then took him to his wife. Minutes after burying him, she stayed there for a while. Issei. I hope you are happy, my friends, I will never forget you. Giving the signal of the king's death that surprised everyone and made many sad. Issei, for the better part of him, went to another place where he appeared in a forest and there he was venting. Some time later, calmer, he went to another place where he walked through the streets and after investigating he ran to an island only to get a surprise. Uncle Issei. Issei. Tell me that's not true. Since in front of him was the statue of Luffy and his friends. It was a year ago. Issei. Because they didn't call me. My dad didn't want to see them sad so he didn't say anything. Issei. And the others. Little by little they left but some continued their adventures. Issei. I see. I can go to him. The young man just nodded and drove to the place and then left. Issei. I didn't expect this, honestly, friend. While pouring some sake. Issei. But I know that you left happy when you achieved all your adventures. In the end you were the greatest pirate that existed there. He said it while he drank the sake and let some tears fall. The young man returned after a few minutes to see how Issei was doing, but when he arrived the only thing there was a photo of Issei and Luffy. He went to every place where his friends were only to get such a surprise, with some managed to say goodbye which was even worse. After so many trips he went to the last one where a boy and a girl saw him. Uncle Issei. Time without seeing it. Issei. Wow, they've grown. Tang Wutong, Tang Wuling. Han Wuling. Do you want to train with us? Issei. This is his father. Tang Wutong. If you stop and I'll call you. Leaving the place while the boy talked to Issei. Seconds later Tang-san arrived and when he saw Issei he was happy but noticed his sad smile. Tang-san. Brother Issei, do you want to walk a little? He just nodded and said goodbye to the young people to go with his friend. Tang-san. Something's wrong with you, it's strange for you to look so sad. Issei. It shows. Tang-san. Very much and tell me what's wrong. Issei. All our brothers are dead. Tang-san upon hearing that couldn't help but stop in his tracks since he got along very well with them when they met. Tang-san. What happened to them? Issei. Don't worry, it was time. Tang-san. I understand. Issei. You know Tang-san. Our story ended a long time ago and it is time for young people to write theirs. Tang-san. I know. And thanks to you there is now peace in this place. Issei. It was all because of you. And speaking of that, how are they? Tang-san. You know, they moved on with their lives and are now leaders of their own sect. Issei. And Xiaowu. Tang-san. He's with the girls. Issei. It was good to see you friend, we'll see you another time. Opening a portal. Tang-san. Thank you for everything. Bowing, Issei gave her a smile and then entered the portal. As soon as it closed, Tang-san fell to his knees, letting out some tears while his children looked into the distance. Upon leaving the portal Issei walked through the park a little where he took a seat on a bench just to watch the children play. Later he returned to his home only to notice the concern of his family. Issei. I went to see my old friends. Serafal. You should let me know beforehand, yes. Issei gave him a smile and then approached Tristan and gave him a letter. He took it curiously and then read it. At the end he fell to his knees crying while Liza comforted him. Gabriel took the letter only to shed some tears as well. Issei. Your father is proud of you. Roswis. How are you? Issei. I managed to say goodbye to him, we had a good talk ha. They noticed his lies, but they didn't say anything, so they just hugged him. Issei couldn't help but cry when remembering the past. Time passed and everything was normal. Issei looked at how his entire family was gathered at a large table while they laughed. Little Isara was in his arms eating happily. Minutes later Issei touched Isara's forehead where little by little she closed her eyes until she fell asleep. Issei created a clone that took the little girl to a room to rest. Issei. I'm happy to have you all gathered here. It's hard to achieve this, you know. We know, Dad, and sorry. Issei. Don't worry, I know. Not long ago I visited my friends and it was fun, and that made me think that it's my time. Instantly all of his children stood up frightened upon hearing such words, while their mothers only looked down. Iri. Tell me it's a joke too, Chan. Issei. When was the last time you called me that? The truth makes me happy. Iri. Just tell me. Issei gave her a smile where Iri saw her gaze already noticing the fatigue of so many years. Without saying more I take a seat. Issei. Many years ago I was in front of a lake and I promised myself that I would end all war and see how happy my friends were back then. Isaka. You knew we were there. Issei. Yes. In the end tell me I made it. Rafia. It's a stupid question, you know. Of course you did it. Serafal. These were our happiest years. Mom, what are you saying? Serafal. I speak the truth. Lilith. We can ask one last favor. Avoiding letting out some tears. Issei. Whatever you want. Lilith. You can spend some time with us just like when we were children. Sarada. We want to go on a picnic, camp, go to the sea while you tell us some stories. We want to do all that again. Issei. With pleasure. At that she stood up and left the room, leaving a silence. Mom, why didn't you say anything? Lucina. Son, your father wants that. He has never asked for anything, and when he does it is better to fulfill his desire. He's my father, I don't want him to leave. Mocha. Just have fun that day, okay? Giving everyone a smile and then leaving like the rest, leaving only the young people. Seconds later a call fell to the new Mao Lucifer being Lucina's son. Yeah. Lucifer-sama called you to tell you that he has a meeting tomorrow. I see. Cancel my entire schedule for a month. But. My family needs me. Hanging up the call seconds later, each of the boys cancelled everything. Iri. Act as you always have agreed. Are you in favor of this one, Isama? Iri. Two-chan always gave us what we wanted and it's time to give him something too. So let's enjoy these days to the fullest. Forming a smile where the older ones stood up and nodded and little by little the rest joined in. The next day everyone had beach clothes where they went to their private place to enjoy the day. Everything was joy, the boys acted as if they were children playing everything they remembered. Obviously the girls did the same plus Arafal and Siko who played pranks on their own children as well as Naruko. The days passed and it was only joy until one night they were having dinner under the stars. Iri. Two-chan, I want you to fight against us tomorrow. Issei. Huh. Iri. I talked about it with my brothers and we want to fight with you but in a serious battle. Issei. Are you ready? Giving them a serious look which they all returned. Noticing that, he smiled and nodded. The next day the girls were in the box while Isara looked at her mother in a battle suit. Surzich. When was the last time we saw him fight? Siko. So many years but it still hasn't lost its style. Issei. I hope you give your all. Philo. We are going to show you everything you taught us, Two-chan. At that moment everyone released their aura while some activated their Susanoo or their spiritual form or became dragons and Kichuns. Issei. Phew, I see they go with everyone. Stretching her arms to then be in front of Iri where she barely crossed her arms to stop the attack. Sarada, who was the closest one, launched a fireball that Issei easily absorbed. Issei. It's not that easy. Evading an attack by a blonde with a mustache. Issei. Just like your mom. Naruko. Hey. Issei. But I'm right. She better not say anything, causing the little girl to laugh when she saw her grandmother pouting. The spectators could only be fascinated to see how Issei stopped every attack with his bare hands. Issei. Come on, give everything. I know they still have more power and more, Iri-chan. Melty. Dad, we will give our all on one condition. Issei. Which one? Liza. Use that form, at least we want to see you in it once. Issei. Sure. We will use all our power but use it. Issei let out a sigh and nodded and then took a step, and how slowly his body changed and grew but not much. Those who had never seen him like this were even more shocked by his children. But they came out of the shock and went to attack with all their skills, only for Issei to snap his fingers and they fell to the ground without energy. Risu. It was easy. Tsukiyomi. You forget who they fight. Only to see Issei return to normal and give them a smile. You're great too, Chan. But you cheated since you possess many skills. Issei. You can too in the future. That's impossible. He just gave them a smile and then went back to walk together on a hill. Arena. Wow, years without coming to this place, I thought it would be gone. Mom, what is this place? Arena. Here your father proposed to me and also. Issei. This is where I came when I was sad and wanted to be alone. Watching how the sun slowly went down and how his children looked at his father's sword. Seconds later Issei raised his hand to the sky where a magic circle was created that surrounded him. Nobody understood what was happening until he turned around. They were shocked to see how he didn't have one eye and how his blonde hair with red highlights was turning black and brown. Eerie. 2chan, what's wrong with you? Issei. I'm saying goodbye to everything that was borrowed from me. Amaterasu. Dear. Issei. I was born a human and I will leave one. Add. Issei. In the past a friend told me that becoming older, even dying, are part of the beauty of the human being. They may seem like weaknesses, but thanks to them our lives are more valuable and honorable. True strength is not something that refers only to the physical body. Gabriel. You earned all of that. Issei just smiled at her where he took out a horn to release a tear that instantly filled up. Issei. Son, when I'm gone, go look for Mimir, and I said thank you for everything. I will do it, father. Taking the horn and holding back the urge to cry. Issei. My story ended like this, I told Tang-san, but yours is just beginning. A story without you has no fun. Issei. I know he will have it, you'll see. In the past I asked myself, what is the point of living if we are born to die, and if that is what life is about, what is the point of being born? I thought that way a long time ago, but now I know that the important thing is what we do while we live. I had many adventures and I had many friends who became my brothers. Everyone just listened carefully to the words of their beloved and father. Issei. I know they will have a good life and do all the right things. And if her mother's fall in love again, support her, yes, since they must remember that her happiness comes first. Serafal. That will never happen, haha. He said it in whispers while the magic circle slowly descended until it ended. Now Issei's body began to age until he was 90 years old. Issei. So that's how it feels to be an old man, haha. He staggered and was about to fall, but Liza and Yuri took him by the hand and Mikishin created a bed to lay him down. Everyone looked up and was surprised to see Issei's weapons and the abilities he gained over time, where Issei called his most powerful weapon. Issei. Yuri, now you are the leader of the Igarashi family, so take care of her. Giving her the true longiness which she took with her teary eyes. Yuri. I will too, Chan, I promise I will be like you. Seconds later he raised his hand again, just moving it to the side, each thing taking a different path. Issei. Hahaha, his mission will be to find his own gift. You are still the same as always, father. Forming a smile when knowing what it was like. Seconds later a magical circle appeared behind them, being the Dragneel family. Asami was the first to go just to see her brother in that state. She couldn't help but fall to her knees seeing him like that. Asami. Issei, why are you doing this? Releasing some tears. Issei. Sooner or later this day had to come. I leave happy since I had a good life with my family. Looking to the side in Natsu's direction, upon noticing this, he approached and got on his knees. Issei. Take care of my family. Natsu. That's how it will be. And thanks for all the adventures we had. Issei. I trust you, my friend. Asami. Thank you for everything, I will always have you in my heart, Oni-chan. Issei. Hehehe, thanks. She got up and left with Natsu to leave the rest. Arena. The truth is I wished this moment would never come, but a part of me knew it would come. Issei. I was happy with you. Serafal. Us too, Ice-chan. At that time a girl was waking up from her mother's arms and looked around her. Asara. Mom, where are we? Yui. Seeing a beautiful landscape. Asara saw the place and her sight focused on a gray-haired man where she got out of her mother's arms and approached him. Asara. Grandpa, it's you. Issei. Now I look like one, haha. Asara. Because you're in bed, it's still early, we have to go to the park as always to fly piscatchas. He told her with a smile while Yui couldn't help but cry. Milikas hugged his wife and had to be the strong one for both of them. Issei. It will be another time. Asara. I want to go today, Grandpa. Issei. Sorry, little one. I just hope that you are happy, my family, and please always smile. She said it with difficulty as his eyes slowly closed, and as he did so many memories began to come to him from when he met each of the girls, to how he asked them to marry him, and how he met each of his eldest daughters. And how he held each of his children in his arms until he finally saw the smile of everyone gathered together. Issei. I had a good life. Those were the last words of him having a smile. Believe it or not, I shed some tears when writing all this. I am weak-hearted when it comes to goodbyes. All the young people fell to their knees sobbing for the departure of their father and idol for many. Asara. Grandpa, wake up, we have to play. Yui. Daughter, he's asleep, come on. Asara. No, I want to play. putting his small hands on Issei's chest and moving him but nothing. Yui approached her and grabbed her waist. Asara. No mom, I want to be with grandpa, let me go. Starting to cry as he struggled to get free but without success. Milikas approached her and put her to sleep and took her in her arms. Milikas. I'll take her to her house. Yui just nodded with tears in her eyes as her family left. Eri. Remember what Tuchan said. They looked up to see how Eri had a smile as she endured her desire, while the others struggled to do the same. Enemu approached Issei and saw the bracelet that she gave him many years ago and opened the contents of it only to cry. They all came up and there it was all about them. Many photo albums and every gift her children gave her. Eri, Liza and Yui couldn't bear to cry when they saw the gifts they gave her father for the first time. Liza. Because he still has them with him. Brunhold. For Issei, the best treasure she had were her gifts. Hinata. She used them on each of her trips and took great care of them. Eri. Tuchan. Serafal took each thing and put it around Issei's body. Mikishin approached after her and gave him the look he had from when he was young. Eride approached him and gave him her sword. Eride. This was his first sword. I reconstructed it like a memory. Placing her on her chest while she cried seeing him like that. Each son and wife stopped by to give him a gift that he placed around her. At the end Mikishin created a barrier around Issei. Mom, what are you going to do? Mikishin. A life without your father is no life. Griselda. The day we got married we took an oath. Nezuko. Together even in the furthest place. Eri. Mom, tell me it's a lie. Kian Renksu. It's only been a few minutes, but I already miss your father. He is my reason why he smiled. Seeing her two daughters with tears in their eyes. Kian Renksu. I want to be next to him. They both approached her to give her a hug. Isaka. Son, I know that you will take care of the faction with your sister. Mom, you still have a lot to teach me. Isaka. Your father believed in you and I believe in you. Mikishin just said it, a life without your father is no life. Giving her son a smile, he just nodded and hugged her. Kunu. Daughter, be happy and I hope you find a good man. Both your father and I will be happy with whatever you decide. I'm going to miss you mom. Lefei. Children, both Issei and I taught you everything we could, now it is time for you to continue on your path. Thanks for everything mom. We are going to miss you a lot. Hiroka. In the past my mission was that my race would return, but I put it aside to have you since I have a big family. As Issei said, our story is over, but it is just beginning. Thank you for everything, I swear to be like you strong ones. Hiroka. I know it will be like that. Office. If I hadn't met Issei, I don't know what would happen to me, but I'm happy. More to have two beautiful children. Lilith take care of everyone please and your Hayato don't get in trouble okay. Lilith. I promise you, mom. Hayato. Don't worry, I'll be like you, I swear. Serafal. My daughter, never forget that I love you and I hope you are happy. I will be, they were very fun years. Taking a magical girl pose just like her mother. Enemu. I'm not good with goodbyes, so I hope you're careful. Yui. Thank you for everything mom. I will never forget everything they taught. Enemu. Take care of the little girl, the truth is it would hurt me to say goodbye to her. Yui. That's how it will be. Gabriel. Don't cry, my daughter. I'm going to miss you mom, first my dad and now you. Gabriel. Without him I have no reason to smile. In the future you will make your life and have your family. Maybe you want us to always be sad. Of course not mom. I'm just going to miss you. Gabriel. I know how your father travels and knows the world, yes. I will do that. Griselda. I taught you everything I knew, I hope you help whoever needs it. That's how it will be, I will be the best swordsman in the world. Giving her mother a smile just like her. Rafia. Support your siblings and remember to eat well every day. I will do it even though I'm not a child anymore. Rafia. To a mother they will always be children. I love you mom. Irina. Always smile like me and your father okay. I'm going to sound crazy. Irina. Of course not since you have the smile of your mother and father. I will do that. Eride. I'm not good with these things, but I want you to be happy and find that special person just like me. It will cost me since you took so long haha. Eride. But it came in the end. I promise to look for that person even if it takes me years. Eride. I know you'll find it. Aphrodite. Take care of yourself, yes, since you are the fruit of a great love. It will be painful not to hear their stories again, the truth. Aphrodite. Never be carried away by the words of others. And take care of your brothers. I promised father so I promise you too. Athena. I taught you everything I could and I hope you use that knowledge for him or I will come and pull your legs. Don't joke like that mom. Athena. He has so many years with them that I learned something. Never forget you. Athena. I hope so. Ingvald. It took me years to meet my true love but in the end it was worth it, I hope you find yours. I will do it but first I want to surpass you in music haha. Ingvald. If one day you find that special person, sing these songs with him. Giving them some pages, she was surprised when she read them and put them on her chest. I'll sing them, I promise. Alicia. You know what it was like in the past, don't you? A person who thought they were invincible but Dad and Pam arrived. Alicia. I accept that it was like that and I hope you don't go down that path when I leave. I want to be like Dad and I will have many adventures. Alice. I wish you luck. Laviana. Take care if and when you leave me you will feel a change. What are you talking about, Mom? Laviana. My sacred gear will go to you and I know you will use it more than me. But. Laviana. Use it for good, yes. I will do that. Astrid. Be happy, okay, but not as happy as my grandfather. Don't exaggerate, Mom, okay. Astrid. Look for a good person, yes. I will do it and I will be strong like both of them. Astrid. You will be. Amaterasu. I give you my blessing as the new sun god. I will take it with all honor. Amaterasu. Say goodbye to the others because I don't have the courage to do so. I will miss you, Mom. Tsukiyomi. As my sister said, you are now the new goddess of the moon. I won't stain your title, Mom. Tsukiyomi. The only thing that matters to me is that you are happy, okay? I will be. Yukin. I know that of the two parents I was the most serious, well, let's say the happy one. I hope you don't hate me. Mom, that's impossible, and Dad told me that you did it so I wouldn't be so weak. Yukin. At the end he told you, haha. Don't become arrogant like I was. I won't be since I don't want to be hit, haha. Yukin just punched him on the forehead and then gave him a smile. Lucina. Find a good wife, okay? That's all you'll tell me. Lucina. It's just that if I say more I'll end up crying. Oh really? Lucina. I became sensitive over time for them and for Issei. I will look for someone stronger than you, yes. Lucina. I hope so and you never tarnish the last name that cost us so much to choose your dad. I won't do it or Iri one Isama will kill me, haha. Lucina. I know he will. Roswis. I've always been told that I cry a lot. I know, Mom, and don't worry, I know what you want to tell me. Roswis. Find a good man. Also, always go and see the sales, yes. Of course I will, it's fun, hahaha. And Zayton. When you find your special person, never separate yourself from them. I won't do it, Mom, and I will always play her beautiful songs just like you did. And Zayton. I wish you luck. Enterprise. If you go to see my sister tell her that I always loved her. I will do it, Mom, and thank you for teaching me so many things. Enterprise. Everything I taught you I learned from Issei since I'm terrible at everything, haha. I saw you secretly taking cooking classes. Enterprise. So you knew. Yep. Belfast. Take care of your sister like she takes care of her mother. Because if she doesn't she will die of hunger. Enterprise. Hey. Belfast. I'm just telling the truth. I will do it, Mom, and thank you for everything you taught. Prince. If someone messes with our family, beat them up, okay? I will do it, Mom. Prince. That's my daughter. Claire. She be like your father, not like me in the past. Believe me, I won't be. Claire. And I was thinking that if you wanted to be like me. Strongly yes, but not with that tsundere attitude. Claire. I see. Brunhold. Never let yourself be scolded by a third-rate god, since you are the daughter of Igarashi Issei and Igarashi Brunhold, a Valkyrie who challenged the gods. That's how it will be, Mom. Kan Renksu. If you go to see Tang-san, tell him thank you for everything. Iri. Thanks for everything, Mom. Pinksu. Thank you. Kan Renksu. When I leave I want you to go take the test as it will help you in the future. Both blondes just nodded at him. Najire. Be happy like your father and me. Even though there are difficulties, he always smiles to lift everyone's spirits. I learned a lot of things and I promise it will be that way. Mocha. You are my pride. Masako. Don't be easily influenced, and if someone goes too far, what do you have to do? Pick him. And then give him another one. Mocha. Don't go overboard, yeah. Yes, Mom. Maruko. If you make jokes, don't go too far or you will be punished by Iri-chan. I will be taking care of Dadabeo. Maruko. That's my son. Hinata. Make sure your brother doesn't get into trouble, okay? It will be difficult, but that's how it will be, Mom. Pagaya. In the past I didn't believe my children well, I hope I did a good job. You did it, you are the most loving mother in the world. And please take care of Dad. Pagaya. And you to your brothers. Vados. Continue your training, okay? I will do that. Margarita. Don't forget that you should eat well and rest. Yes, Mom. Mikishin. Take care of the rest and train hard to reach your sister and thus help her protect the rest. I promise. Kichigami. I taught you the best I could, I hope you can handle the job. I will do that. But tell me, is there any dimension where there is someone like my father? Kichigami. There isn't one, since no one can compare to him. I will take care of everything very well. Watching as her mother gave her cane and she took it with a sad smile. Siko. You know, to make a man fall in love, first make your stomach fall in love with him. Ahahaha, that's how it will be, Mom. Holding back the urge to cry when remembering everything the three of them experienced. Siko. Be happy like I was with your father. I promise. Bastard. Tell the rest that I love them and that they forgive me for leaving this way. But they will understand me. I will tell you, I will be just like you. Bastard. You guys will be much better than us. Isabella. You're the son of 2 demon kings, I hope you take care of your father's title. Ahahaha, I will do it. I will be the best forger. Isabella. I hope so since your father created unique things. I saw it and I will too. Isabella. I'm proud of your son, he said. Raphtalia. I don't know what to say. Philo. We had many adventures one each and I will follow his legacy and be strong. Raphtalia. I love them. Giving them a hug that they reciprocated. Morelia. I'm proud of both. Melty. I learned a lot from you and dad and I will reach the top. Me too. Morelia. I know they will. Shiel. Use my Tengu to help others. I will do it and thank you for everything you taught. It was hard, but I know they did it for my good. Shiel. I lived a longer life than planned and treasured every moment. Me too. Esdeath. What she said. I hope you don't let yourself be consumed by the hatred of my power. You forget who my father is. Esdeath. Hahaha, I know. Protect everyone and make every enemy suffer. As well as your. Esdeath. Hahaha, yes. Became. Don't use the katana for evil. Use it for good. I promise. Getting on her knees and taking the katana in his arms. Became. He accepted you. I will use it to protect the family. She just gave him a slight smile. Nezuko. I taught you the best I could. They were difficult workouts, but I managed to create my own breathing. Nezuko. I know and use it to take care of your brothers. Tiamat. I can't give you my title since you have to earn it, so I wish you luck. It will be difficult, but I will get it and I will climb until I surpass my father. Tiamat. Hahaha, he would be proud to hear that, but it will be difficult for you. Quetzalcoatl. Be happy like your one Isama. Mom, don't act like that at such a time. Quetzalcoatl. Be happy my son. Just as I went with your father. Giving him a big smile. Ishtar. I know you're strong like your father and me, so I don't have much to say, good luck. Thanks mom. Ereshkigal. You will have a lot of work since I leave. It will be boring, but I'll see what I do. Ereshkigal. Take care of yourself and if you feel bad, talk to them, yes. Yes mom. Urza. Your father and I left you a memory, I hope you like it. I'm waiting excited. But I'm going to miss you as well as training together. Urza. You're older now so I wish you luck on your adventure. Thank you. Warahan. Feed your brothers well. I will do that. Warahan. All the recipes that the 3 of us created were left in your room. They are the favorite foods of each of your brothers. Appa thought of everything is amazing. Warahan. I know daughter. Valerie. I hope you never erase the smile you inherited from your father. I will do it mom, but I'm going to miss them. Valerie. Even as an adult, you act like a child. They were very helpful to me. Valerie, I love you daughter, be happy. Risu. Never underestimate your rival because it will go badly for you like me. You told me in the past and it will be so. Risu. Have many adventures like your father. I will do that. Sikvaria. Your father was a very happy person from the day I met him. It has always been so. Sikvaria. He fulfilled my greatest dream and well, over time I couldn't avoid it any longer. Believe me, there is still talk about how dad conquered the Ice Queen hahaha. Sikvaria. I see but I don't care. Daughter, be happy just as I was. Do not hesitate. Yamato. Hahaha, explore many places and be like him. Mom, I promise I will be like dad and you. Yamato. I never thought I would fall in love with him since I only thought about being like my idol, but when I met Issei he wanted to be like him. I will be like both. Giving him a hug while Yamato cried since he didn't like goodbyes. Some time later the girl said goodbye to the young men since they also considered them their children until there was a small silence. Lefay. Albion, please take care of them. Albion. I promise both I and my son will do it. Lefay. Thank you for everything. Albion. Thank you since I will never have a partner like you. Claire. Drake. Don't say it, I promise to take care of them all along with my son too, although he still needs to train more. Yukin. Abyssing, I'll give you all of them and be happy too. Abyssing. We had many adventures rest. Naruko. Kurama takes care of my cub. Kurama. My son will do it but don't worry, I'll watch over everyone. Kichigami. Natsu, take care of them, we know they are older, but they still have a long way to go. Natsu. I promise. Siko. Don't feel bad guys. Since his book has barely created the prologue while ours ran out of pages hahaha. Bye mom. The women just let out a few tears with a smile as they approached Issei's body. Kichigami created one last portal. Kichigami. Take care. Eri. Where are they going? Kichigami. To a place far away where no one can find anything about us. You know that without war there is no peace. Seraphil. When they learn of Issei's death, many will look for his body to examine it. He wants to rest in peace and that is what we will do. Mikishin. Take care of yourselves. Entering the portal next to Issei's body, leaving only Chichigami, who gave everyone a smile and then entered and disappeared. Those present were silent for a few minutes. Eri. Our mothers gave us a mission, and that is to keep things the way they are. The truth is it will be difficult to continue without them. I liked being at home just to see how dad did everything possible to make us happy. As Siko Kachan said, it is time to create our own story. Eri. Let's go home. When will we give the news? Eri. In a few days. The truth is I want to be alone for a few days. I hope you understand me. The rest nodded as they would do the same. Elsewhere the girls came out of the portal only to see darkness around them. Enemu. Where we are. Kichigami. In nothing, but when we do that we will be the cause of a new Big Bang. Yamato. Great. A dignified death for us, ahahaha. Pagaya. Thank you for everything, girls. From the first day they treated me well despite my story. Alicia. We all have a bad past, but Issei took it upon himself to erase all traces of it. Masako. I love you, sisters. Mocha. You finally say that. Masako. Sorry. Astrid. What's the plan? Mikishin. Gather all your power into a sphere. They all did it with a smile and then placed the sphere on Issei's chest. Seconds later it exploded as dust dissipated. 2 days passed and a girl couldn't stop crying for her grandpa because she wanted to play with him. Both Yui and Milikas didn't know what to do since they were also suffering, but they had to be strong for their daughter. Yui. Daughter, you must eat something, I don't want something to happen to you. Asara. I love grandpa, I miss him. Where is it, I want to see it. Milikas. He's busy. Asara. Tell him to come, yes. She was already telling them with her eyes red from crying so much. Yui. He will come tomorrow, so go to sleep, yes. Seeing her mother smile, Asara went to bed while both parents wrapped her up and then left. Asara, from being so sleepy, quickly fell asleep only to wake up in a beautiful landscape. She walked a little until in the distance she saw someone who made her cry, while he had a smile on her face. Asara. Grandpa, grandpa, grandpa. Jumping up to him and giving him a hug which Issei reciprocated. Asara. I missed you so much, where you were. Letting out plainly as Issei comforted her with a smile. Minutes later they were both sitting down. Asara. Grandpa, where were you? Issei. I'm somewhere sleeping, but I heard a beautiful girl crying, so she came. Asara. Don't go, we have to play. Issei. It's something that had to happen, little one, I'm sorry. Asara. I miss you. Issei. Me too, but remember that you have parents and they must be sad for you. Asara. Sorry. Issei. Okay. Just be happy with them and never make them sad. Asara. You will return. Issei. No, but remember, I will always take care of you. Touching her breast with one of her fingers. Issei. I will follow you on all your adventures where you will meet many friends. Asara. Grandpa, I want to be strong like you. Issei. I know you will make it, since you are the granddaughter of that being who is above all races. Asara. When I'm strong I'll take care of mom and dad. Issei. I know you will. Getting up from the ground and getting to the height of his little girl. Issei. Face everything with a smile, no matter how bad the situation is, because a smile gives hope. Starting to walk while the little girl stood there unable to move. She could only see her grandpa's back for the last time. When she woke up she wiped away the tears she had where she went to her window to see the stars, since it was still late. Asara. I'll be like your grandpa. Yui and Milikas went to her daughter's room to see if he was okay, but when they opened the door, they were surprised to see him in the window. Upon hearing the door, she turned around just to give her parents a smile that surprised them again. Yui. Daughter, something's wrong. Asara. I talked to my grandfather and I promised him I would never cry again and also that he would be just as strong as him. Milikas. You will be. Asara. Sorry for everything. Yui. It's okay, daughter, and I understand how you feel. Asara. I won't cry. Giving a big smile like in the past to her parents who both returned it. Days later, Mao Lucifer gathered everyone together while broadcasting live to break the news. Today I will speak as Mao Lucifer, not as Igarashi Issei's son. Having a serious look that surprised some. Igarashi Issei, after so many years of service, made the decision to finally rest. Everyone, upon hearing such news, could not believe it anymore, the people closest to him. Another person came forward to help his brother. Our mothers went with him since a life without my father is no life for them. So don't say bad things about him. Since my father gave a lot of his years to save them. It was complete silence until someone jumped on stage being a demon who had a big smile. Many people, upon seeing such stupidity, let out a sigh as they had a bad feeling. You finally give good news, Lucifer. He for his part had a serious look since he wanted to hear his nonsense first. Many adore him, but everything about him is a lie. Everything he did was thanks to the partners he had. Do you forget when he defeated many gods alone? And are you stupid for not remembering that he used those girls' abilities? Many began to murmur since he was right. Such beauties like them should not have been with a useless person. You're right. True. Surzich. What are you looking for by making such a fuss? Since those girls are not there to defend him. Seeing Issei's daughters with a smile. I imagine that they inherited something from his father, and that is good since they are useless, but don't worry, I and others are going to take care of them. Liza. You're done. I'm just telling the truth, he was useless. Someone was about to respond, but they heard some sobbing coming from the little girl. Isara. I promised Grandpa that I wouldn't cry, but I don't like people talking about him like that, Mom. Yui. Tristan, can you take my daughter please? Without saying anything, he took her and she left the place, somewhat annoyed by all the nonsense he had heard. Yui. I don't know who gives you that courage to talk about my father, but you won't leave here. Don't be so arrogant just because you are married to Milikas. The truth is that it is a disgrace that a pure-blooded demon is with a third-rate fall. Yui. Who sent you? Without paying attention to what she said previously, causing the demon to get upset and then go to Yui wanting to hit her, but before she did, Milikas took her hand. Milikas. You said interesting things recently. Giving him a blow to the stomach that knocked the air out of him. Milikas. How dare you touch my wife? Since I decided to propose I swore to my dream that she wouldn't let anyone touch her. Giving him a kick that sent him flying off the stage. Seconds later many magic circles appeared from which fallen Asgardian gods emerged. The majority being people who hated Issei. Because of what that idiot did, today we come to claim what belongs to us, and we love his daughters. The ha 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 wow, as always Mom was incredible to have so many idiots behind her. It sends her that a single man was loved by so many beauties. Giving a smile to the group that bothered them. Before they could respond, the sky turned dark and as many lightning bolts sounded until seconds later one fell on the stage where Issei came from. Those who knew her knew that it was not going to end well since they knew of her power. Wow, the spoiled one finally shows her face. Issei. I didn't come earlier because she wanted everyone to be together. Without her mothers they are nothing except a pretty face. Issei. I swore to my father that he was going to protect this family and that's what I will do. And whoever dares to take a step forward only death awaits. The ha 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 that she can make a brat. Walking towards her with a big smile. Issei. My father was one of those people who gave his enemies a second chance so they would think things through better. I learned a lot from him and if there's one thing I'm happy not to have from him, it's that option. Invoking the true longiness that she threw towards the one who was walking where it pierced his heart, leaving many surprised. Seconds later he throws it back at her where he nails it to the ground. Issei. Listen to me, everyone. Anyone who comes towards this family with bad intentions already knows what he has in store for them. Don't believe it's a big deal. Issei. Well I do it because I am the daughter of that man who once said. Creating a large magic circle where Issei could be seen standing while under one of her feet, he had a god while on her shoulder he had an axe. Issei. I am the one who stands above all races. You can call me Issei, the majesty of her. Many were happy to hear that and others were upset. All her children were proud. Little by little everyone left, leaving only the people who did love Issei being many. Over time the factions that loved Issei created a statue with him always wearing her smile. Some statues had their partners for the happiness of their children. In the human world, a great funeral took place where many people went just to say goodbye to a great hero. In a very quiet place while the day's breeze was perfect and it was a sunset, a group of people saw the back of someone who gave them a lot of joy. Lefei. You think you would escape so easily? Hearing that voice, Issei turned around alone to be surprised to see his wives standing there. Sikvaria. Perhaps you forget the words we said on our wedding day. Issei. Together. Girls. Even in death. He couldn't help but put on a smile while he cried. The girls little by little approached him to give him a hug. Some time later everyone was sitting with a smile. Issei. And what will happen to the children? Can Renksu. Issei are already adults, some are faction leaders. Serafal. They are also under the care of their older sisters. Issei. It's true hahaha. Gabriel. So this will be our resting place, it's nice. Issei. Yes, plus the weather is always the same, the weather doesn't feel like it. Najir. So what can we do for fun? Issei. Let's play catch. Grafia. But you follow us. Lucina. You have everything to lose. Issei. It doesn't matter time I have plenty now. They nodded and seconds later they began to run while Issei counted until he finished and went after them. The girls, seeing him, gave him a smile while he followed them behind with his big smile, since he was with his loved ones. The end. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.